is where the halflings live.
All right, so we're ready to start.
I am recording.
And so am I on the backup device, just in case. It is episode... God, is it episode 8 already? Yeah, it is. Episode 8 of our Doctor Who campaign for the novella role-playing engine as we experiment some things. And so far, the previous sessions have revealed to me that I definitely need to spend a lot of time ironing out the kinks in the combat engine. That didn't surprise me. But I think I'm also going to go back and revise how we use statistics. I think that at the first bonus being only a mere +1 might throw players off. I think I might need to change the difficulty curve a little bit, but we'll get to that later. Now, at this point, you guys are just turned level 3 or about to be level 3?
I think about to be.
About to be.
About to be. That's what I thought, too. Okay, so this is the adventure we get up to level 3. Good. Game starts. It is March 2050. And going on in your news, the United Nations has announced the first joint nation mission planned for Mars. Slated to land in 2050. It was 2059 on the episode, right? Think so? Slated to land in... Well, no, actually, they have to land earlier. Slated to land in 2057.
They've been there for a couple of years before.
Yeah, so we'll say it's slated to land on 2057. They announced the crew, and if you know the episode I'm talking about with the water-based things on Mars, you see images of that crew up there.
That's not going to end well.
Also, in the news, the royal family has had a new addition. Whatever princess such and such has had baby such and such. So England is all a Twitter.
A Twitter about a baby. Gee, doesn't sound like
Scots
mine.
could care less.
Yeah. All right. The Doctor, how you regenerate. This adventure is going to take place a couple of weeks after our last one. The Doctor has taken a couple of weeks, and he's basically locked himself in the TARDIS. You guys only see him when he shows up at the bar. And he shows up at the bar for a couple of hours every night to acquaint himself. Everyone's like, this is the new owner? Yes, I'm the new owner. And they get acquainted to him, and they like him a lot better than the last guy. That punk guy, I mean, he could cook. Oh, God, could he cook. But, man, he was a twit. An upper class, well, in this case, a lower class Cockney twit. And they say this in front of the Doctor. The Doctor's face is like, yes. Verily, forsooth. Lower class, you say.
He was.
Born of alone blood, got it.
Yes, he was. He was a lower class asshole.
All right. This Doctor dresses pretty much in a, not like a tuxedo, but he dresses well, like in upper class suits. But he doesn't wear a tie. He refuses. Refuses to wear a tie. In fact, a couple of days after the regeneration, you guys are in the TARDIS with him, and when he opens his closet and sees all the ties, the first thing he does, he throws all the ties out. When he gets to a bow tie with a fez on top of it, he's like, I must have been insane. That's the only thing I can think of. I must have been temporarily insane. My regeneration must not have gone as well as I would have liked. Maybe I was like flying before I was fully formed or something. Which, geeks remembering the episode will realize that that's exactly what happened. All right, so it's been a couple of weeks. Unit has been taking care of you guys, and then you get a message.
Oh, boy.
From your mom.
Oh, great.
Yay!
Anya Kelly, pick up the phone and know you're there.
You know how you can solve this, right?
It's 50-50 chance she'll pick up the phone.
Sweet.
She doesn't pick up the phone.
15 minutes go by, she calls you again. Anya Kelly, I know you're home and you're avoiding your mother. That's a sin. Pick up the phone. If it not, it bloody well better be.
Still doesn't pick up the phone.
Do I have to get your uncle to stop by? There's a knock at the door.
He looks at the people.
It's your crazy uncle.
She picks up the phone. What?
I need help with your brother.
Oh, Lord, why did he do this time?
He just keeps playing the same game over and over and over again, and it's bugging me nerves.
What am I supposed to do about it?
Come over here and talk to him. Let him play his first-person shooters, his role-playing games, his World of Warcraft redone. Whatever. Just, I'm tired of listening to Rock Band.
My God, is that still around?
Yeah.
That's Rock Band. World of Warcraft.
I can try, but I can't guarantee anything.
Good.
I'll come over and shoot him.
Fine, I'll be over there in a bit.
You open the door?
Yeah.
You open the door, and there's your uncle, dressed like a mod, with a bowl haircut,
Cool.
and a sign got the Beatles on it.
Oh my.
And he's got this look in his eyes like, Ringo.
Oh.
If he's going to go after a friggin' Beetle, can he at least go after one of the better ones?
Okay.
I mean, Ringo Starr, for Christ's sake, the one with no talent.
She just kind of looks at him for a minute. Are you alright?
I was listening to the record backwards and it made total complete sense. You have to listen to it backwards.
Which
the
one?
preachers are right. There's hidden messages.
Which one? Yellow Submarine?
Which one?
He's got the White Album in his hands.
That makes sense.
Okay.
All right, now, Ruth doesn't know much about the Beatles and their history, so let me explain this. The White Album was when the band began breaking up. The White Album is called White Album because it's just a stark white cover with the word The Beatles on it. There's like 35 tracks on this album because each Beatle did like 5 or 6 songs of his own. Rather than be a collaborative band project, it was more like somebody did some songs and the band happened to play for him. This is also the album where Yoko Ono showed up, if I remember my history correctly.
It's the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Contrary to pop myth, Yoko had nothing to do with it. The White Album
No,
shows...
John and Paul were already arguing back and forth for the White Album.
Yeah,
Never got
the
recorded.
White Album pretty much killed the band.
Yeah.
Yoko just basically sped up the process. That's all she did. As much as I don't like the woman, I don't blame her for that.
But anyway, so,
Well, I could get going here,
can I listen to it sideways here? You have to listen to it sideways for it to not hurt you anymore.
How do you listen to it sideways?
Oh, it's very easy. He takes the old vinyl record, which you have no idea where he got a vinyl record at this point in time.
I'm glad
Okay,
I'm not there.
we're like 110 years past when this thing was printed, and it is in pristine condition.
I'm
Okay.
so glad I'm not there right now.
He's sitting there with the record, and rather than like put it flat, he puts it on his finger. He puts his finger side and he goes like this, and starts spinning it like it's a hubcap.
Okay, then knock yourself out.
Great, I'll be here, where it's safe.
You do realize that he's holding several thousand pounds in his hand.
Yeah, but it's also her crazy uncle, and she has no flipping clue.
And she's a girl from 2050. She has no idea who the Beatles even are.
Yeah.
No,
Her
I'm sorry.
uncle should know who the Beatles are at this
Even in
point in time.
Firefly, they knew
But-
who the Beatles were.
All right.
She's
So-
like, indulge the uncle. It'll keep him happy. So she'll walk him into
If there
the
is one
apartment.
piece of pop culture humanity would save when they flee the solar system, it will be the Beatles.
I disagree. It'll be Elvis. Or Buddy Holly and the Crickets, who the Beatles are named for, and we're trying to... I'm sorry, I'm going to put my music geek back in his box. Otherwise, we're not going to get anywhere through this game. All right, so...
Hey, I'm the same way about Buddy Holly and the Crickets, man.
Go to her mom's place.
All right, so you take the drive over. Your phone rings.
Underrated band in history.
It's the doctor.
Oh, good lord. Yeah?
Miss Kelly, I've had a couple of weeks to let my regeneration settle in, and it occurs to me that we might need to have a conversation about our interactions in the past. Some of my companions in the past have not taken it well when I've regenerated, and it's caused an emotional stress, and I would like to discuss with you what exactly this entails and whatever feelings you may have about the situation.
Haven't we already had this talk?
Oh, crap.
I sense that you still have some kind of reservations about me, and I'm not sure why. Have I done something to offend you?
No.
Okay, well, if I ever have done something to offend you, you can ask me to make amends, and I shall.
Alright, I have something I go to do. How about we meet like for lunch or something?
Certainly, I'll be at the restaurant.
Alright, now I'll see you then. Boys.
It's a pub. It's a bloody pub. My God, I'm going native.
So, all right,
Continuing on to her mom's place.
you get to your mom's place. Your mom is pacing outside, smoking a cigarette.
Oh, that's a bad sign. Alright, do I need to get like some latex gloves or anything like to keep the blood from getting all over?
No, just go in there and talk to him and tell him that I have had enough.
Walks in.
You walk in and your brother is playing, of all things, an old Xbox 4 game. Multiple years in the future, so. An old Xbox 4 game called Rock Band. Okay? And essentially, the way the game works is you have a fake musical instrument that you play along with music on the screen. You also have little avatars representing the band. You have to manage them. The game simulates being a rock star or being a rock band. And he's trading online with a bunch of his friends, and you look, and he's apparently got the Ramones on there.
He's got taste.
All right?
The Ramones.
Hey, ho, let's go. Hey, ho. And my wife's blank stare tells me she doesn't know the history of punk music either. Okay. The Ramones are a very famous punk band.
Okay.
Like I said, at least he's got taste.
Alrighty, so... Hi there, brother.
Uh-huh. Click, 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 click. Beep, 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 beep.
Having fun?
Uh-huh. Click, 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 beep, beep, beep. You see the guy on screen suddenly turn. He grabs a girl from the crowd, pulls her up on stage, starts twirling the girl on stage while they're dancing, while he's singing along.
Oh, that's quite a bit of a feat right there.
Yeah, it's Double Down on Xbox Zero.
It what?
Double Down on Xbox Zero. And, oh, crap! Look, you must be messing up the song. I mean, like, in the halfway through the bridge, man.
How long have you been playing that?
He looks up the clock. Wow. What day is it?
She tells him the day.
Since yesterday morning. It's really good.
Right. Maybe you should take a break.
In a minute.
That's probably what you said like 2 hours ago.
Well, I gotta finish the set.
Okay. So, you can't play that, like, for a whole week or anything like that, because there's things you have to do.
I wouldn't play it for a whole week, and I got the next 3 days off from work. I'm fine. I actually have a job now.
Where'd you get a job?
I don't remember. I gotta go up to the station and get to my contact worker. He's gonna take me there. Had to get money so I can pay for the fees.
You don't know where you're working.
Well, I got the job through a service. Crap! And you look, and people in the crowd, and the virtual crowd, they start boo, boo. Look, I gotta talk later. He's pressing some buttons. Suddenly, women in the front are like ripping their shirts off and waggling their digital breasts at his character. And he's like, "Yeah, that's what I'm gonna see, baby. That's right. This is what being a rock star is all about." And he goes like this. His mouth, you can see a little bit of drool start to come out. He's just sitting there watching the screen. This is where you make an observation.
Oh, okay.
Why? I just unplugged the damn thing.
That was what she was about to do. 19.
Okay. 19 total.
Yes.
There's a cat caught in the room.
All right, so you look at him. He's obviously showing the signs of some kind of addiction and euphoric. I mean, he's showing all the signs of someone who's like high. And that's, you notice the video game system isn't plugged into the TV. You see any connection between it and the monitor. You Sonic it?
That was quick.
Your Sonic Screwdriver reveals that this is a psychic device he's playing.
You've been waiting 3 weeks to do that, haven't you?
It's a great like that way he hears it.
Ah, man. So this is the sound that my wife has been wanting to do for 3 weeks.
Now, other button.
She bought herself a sonic screwdriver.
No, you bought me the sonic
I bought her a sonic screwdriver, I should
Yes,
say.
make sure you have that right.
So the sonic screwdriver comes up the reading, and the reading says, psychic device directly plugged into your brother's neural system and hooked up to something in the atmosphere. But you can't find it.
Can you turn it off?
No. It's hooked into his nervous system. It's part of him.
Oh.
Well, he's got his greatest wish.
Calling the doctor.
Hello. Thank you for calling the doctor. Saving worlds since 965 years ago. I'm currently out or presently engaged saving some other civilization. If you'll leave your name, number, location, galactic time coordinates, I'll be sure to get back to you at my earliest possible convenience. Thank you. Your call is important. Beep.
Listen, you better get your little duff over here to my mom's place because I think my brother's in trouble and you need to be able to fix it. So when you get this message, you better give me a call back or else I'm going to drag you over here.
Cutscene. High back chair. There's a fireplace roaring. A bit of scotch. A big thick Dickens novel. The doctor sitting with some reading glasses paging through it.
You better be doing something important right now or I swear to God I'm going to be slapping the daylights out of you. Anyway, boy. Okay, so she goes and stands in front of the TV. blocking her.
He doesn't see you.
So he's okay. That didn't work. She tries slapping him upside the head.
Hey, watch it! I'm watching the screen.
Snap out of it!
Thump. He passes out.
Was that really all it took? Oops, wrong end.
He's unconscious.
That's another way to handle this.
Walks out to her. Goes out to where her mom's pacing and like, Mom, where did he get that?
Well, it's some new game system his brother's not his brother. One of his blokes dropped off. He didn't say where he got it. Seems a bit shady if you ask me.
It is shady. It's very shady. It's very weird, and it's likely to get him into trouble.
What was that bloke? It was that bloke, Michael.
Michael who?
Michael something. I don't know. I'm just known by Michael or Mickey.
Mickey?
Yeah. Little boy, good Irish lad.
Oh, Irish.
They're from Dublin.
Do you know how I could get a hold of Mickey?
Your brother Sean wouldn't let me have the phone number. So I checked his digits, and here you go.
Thank you. I think I'll be making a few phone calls. You might want to check in on him. He's passed out on the floor.
Oh, should be. He's been playing that damn game since yesterday morning.
Do you happen to have like a fire axe or something?
Why would I be needing a fire axe?
Oh, maybe in case something really bad happened and you needed to bash the system into pieces.
Well, dear, as you know, the court has ordered that all such large, sharp objects be away from me in case your father returns.
Which means you have someone hidden around in the house, don't you?
No, but I do have a few shillelaghs.
Okay, well, if something weird happens, have fun with it on that boat. Keep him away from that thing. It doesn't matter what you do, just keep him away from it.
Okay.
Anyway,
Why don't we just throw it out?
Because we have to keep it around because I don't know exactly what it is.
Well, then take it with you so you won't be tempted to play it here.
I don't know if that's a wise idea.
And since when have you done anything wise, Miss? I've had 12 boyfriends in the past 13 years.
11?
12, the new one that I don't like. The little short Irish punker. Sorry, Cockney punker.
We weren't together, we were just friends.
Oh, yes, right. You weren't together. I saw the way you looked at him.
You're imagining things you are.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She reaches into her coat. She pulls out a snapshot of you kissing the blonde guy.
I can explain that. It was...
Lying's a sin. I expect you in church tomorrow for confession. She closes the door.
I'm not lying.
And my Catholic is laughing.
Oh, I can just see my grandma. I can just hear my grandma Dia saying the same damn thing, just with a slightly different accent.
She grabs the Xbox and then just stomps away.
Okay.
With it goes to the.
So Thomas, you're at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Taking care of things.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor shows up through the back door. Basically what he's done, he's actually put part of the TARDIS, so it always opens to a back room of the pub. Alright?
That's convenient.
So he walks out of the door, he's got scotch in his hand, he's reading a Dickens novel.
Yes.
He sets the novel down, takes his glasses off, and goes, "How do our counts stand?"
Count stands pretty damn good. By the way, I want a raise.
He just kind of looks at you, like he's waiting for something.
Yeah, I want a raise. You're never here.
And you assume you merit an increase in salary. Why?
Well, because I've increased the count twice over. You're never around. Your last incarnation practically chased off half the staff, and I had to talk them into coming back. Basically, I've been carrying your water here for the last several months, and I'm only making friggin' bottom level wage for a manager.
So you want me to be responsible for something that somebody who was only vaguely me did?
Well, there's that and the fact that you haven't been around here for several weeks. I've been doing all the work.
I will take your request for a salary increase under advisement.
Oh,
And get back with you at the end of the week for what I've decided.
Yes, okay. Oh, another thing, too. Do remember that while I may respect you, and not particularly like you very much, my ass has saved yours a couple times now. Your ass, on the other hand, well, one of your previous asses, did dump my ass back in the Cretaceous period. You still owe me a little bit on that one. So, don't forget that, okay? I know that some incarnations you
I'm
tend to be a little
curious.
sloppy-headed.
I'm curious. Why do you think it's wise to threaten somebody who owns a time machine?
Well, because A, I know you well enough by now to know you won't take advantage of that too much. So you may have some fun with me in the past, and I don't mind that. That's part of the fun. Secondly, I just want to remind you that because your previous incarnation had a tendency to dodge that responsibility pretty heavily. I'm expecting you to be a little more responsible. He never even apologized for it.
You know, it's funny. I hear your mouth moving, but I hear Jiminy Cricket's voice.
Don't insult me. I am not your conscience. I don't have much of one to begin with.
Yeah, that was Donna.
Right. Ring, 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 ring. Oh, look, a phone call. And he goes away.
Oh, by the way, don't blow off the chick too long. She'll kick you in the balls.
She's Irish. That's what they do.
I am so going native.
So,
I want a hamburger and a beer. Kitchen, now.
after you eat your hamburger and beer, a couple of staff members come up and go, so we're just wondering, what's this new guy like?
Distant. Cold. But he'll do his job, unlike the previous. Right now, he's just busy settling in town. That's why he hasn't been around much. That's okay. I busted his balls a little bit. Asked for a raise. He won't give it to me, but he will start showing up now, so we'll stop bugging him about it.
They bow to you. You're a god. You're a god. I figured that's what you were doing.
Yeah.
All right. So, Thomas runs the bar that morning. Things go pretty well. You look up at the news story, and you notice on the news that there's a local story about a boy who's just been admitted to the hospital. Parents are there, and the doctors are saying that somehow he's got some kind of... Oh, phone call?
No. I can't get the pee out of there.
The doctors say that he's got some kind of catatonic state that seems to have been induced by an electronic device.
You know what I gotta say about that? Not my problem yet. However, I will make sure that there are all electronic devices in this place, particularly the games and TV, are carefully monitored for their behavior.
The Public Health Service. The Public Health Service is recommending everybody with an old-style Xbox 4 refrain from using it. The Labour Party has instituted a bill into Parliament about banning video games in Britain.
Oh dear.
And
That's going to make her brother go nuts.
And let's see what else. That's about it right now in the news for you. Ote. 20 minutes later.
No scandals? I laugh
Not
at
yet.
people's misery.
20 minutes later, you get a call from one of your puka buddies.
Yeah? What's up? What's going on?
We're just wondering, have you seen the news?
No, I've been busy prodding around with something.
Somebody's apparently messing with retro games.
So you mean it's widespread?
Well, some guy just got admitted to the hospital. They relate the story related to Matthew.
Mm-hmm.
He's using an old-style Xbox 4. That thing has been top line for almost a decade. And the only people hanging on to those right now are like geeks who used to hold onto the old Atari 2600s. Swearing
God.
Atari was going to come back.
Oh my God, I remember that.
Xbox 4s, you say?
Yeah.
And if I had one of these units...
Remember the Atari Jaguar?
I do.
Their last gasp.
And if I had one of these units and whatnot, what exactly would you want to do with it?
Can you bring it in so we can take it apart, take a look at it?
We might need to get some outside consultation on it just in case it's, one of those rare things.
Oh, no. We're a super secret hacker group. I mean, not even the government knows about us. We can't talk to outsiders.
My God.
Willpower to keep from laughing.
I just remembered. Buckaroo Banzai. Perfect Johnny. That's who this doctor looks like, doesn't he?
pretty.
Without the string tie.
That's string tie.
Wait, why would she keep from laughing?
Okay, you can stop yelling. You can stop laughing now.
Where's paper towels?
Counter.
Towels.
Just bring it in.
Alright, well, let me pick somebody up first, and someone who might be able to help out with it.
Okay.
So, what's that,
And as he hangs up, you start hearing him saying, "It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog." Click.
Is that supposed to mean something?
It's an old song.
Oh, kind of like her uncle had an old song, and now...
I don't know if your character recognizes it's a Beatles song, but yes, it's an old Beatles song.
Okay. So she's gonna stop by her apartment first and see how her uncle's doing.
As you go into her apartment, one of the waitresses comes by. She starts singing, "Here comes the sun." And pretty soon all the other waitresses and waiters are, you hear them all humming it at various parts all over the bar. Roll your observation.
I don't have to.
Okay. Well, we have to have a roll because otherwise the character wouldn't realize that that's kind of weird.
All my wait staff is suddenly breaking out in song.
Not-
Yeah, that's a little
Not
weird.
not breaking out in song like Once More with Feeling Buffy musical.
No,
We're talking, you'll hear one catching, humming part of it, and then what I'm trying to get your observation, if you see the pattern.
Oh, okay. I don't care what you
Hey,
say.
howdy,
This
can
is
you
a
get
little
by me?
weird.
New roommate.
I don't care what anybody says. This is a little weird. I mean, seriously, does this ever happen in real life?
Yeah. It's called an earwig. It's called an earwig. Someone starts singing something, everybody else knows the song, you start finding people singing it. Yeah, happens. All right, so you're sitting there at your apartment. Your uncle's there. Sure enough, he's sitting, holding the record in his finger, spinning it sideways, listening to it.
How's that working for you?
Pretty good.
27.
27.
Any weird sayings?
No, I'm taking them out of my brain. All the instructions are getting deleted, like a computer file. It's good.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay. You notice that one will sing that part of it, and then someone else will pick up right where they left off and sing the next part. Someone else will pick it up and sing the next part.
Okay.
They go through Here Comes the Sun, and then about 15 minutes later, someone starts going, "Ba-da-da-da-da-da, American woman, stay away from me." Another way she says that, "American woman."
God.
Okay. If you're going to sing something that doesn't trash my home country. Doctor.
The doctor turns on his phone. Yes. In the background, you hear classical music playing. Do 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 do
check his messages
do
out.
do 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 do. Okay.
We have a musical breaking out in our bar. Yeah.
What, like Once More with Feeling?
Not quite. More along the lines of somebody sings about 2 lines, another person takes it up, then another person takes it up, then another person takes it up, until the song is over, and then they start over again.
Oh,
with a
good.
new song.
Then it's nothing fatal. That worries me because those dancing demons, fatal things. Be right there. You hear a big thick book shut. He walks out, takes a look at everybody, takes his glasses off, looks at them, watches them sing, and now they're into actually something by Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Well, at least they're back to good music.
All right. You hear off the corner, it ain't me, I ain't no fortunate son. Right. And he's looking at it. He's looking at the right. He goes, "Wow, she's even got the Fogarty wiggle going." Huh.
The fact that you know what that is disturbs me.
Time Lord. Whips out the sonic screwdriver. Zzz. No weird fluctuations in the air.
Except for the singing voice.
Excuse me, dear. The waitress is over. The one that used to hit on you comes over.
Mhm.
Yes? I'm terribly sorry, but there's something I need to find out. Okay, what? He grabs her by the sides of the cheeks, kisses her.
Oh, God.
The whole restaurant just stops.
Oh, God.
And Her arms, at first, her arms are like and her arms just go, and she's like almost swooning in his arms.
Oh my god.
Well, at least I don't have to worry about sexual harassment suit.
Where he puts her down on the counter. She's there going, He goes, yes, definitely telepathic contact. Something is messing with people's brains, and it's a low-grade telepathic pulse.
And you had to kiss her to find that out.
Yes. Because apparently it doesn't affect Time Lords. I had to feel it through her sensory system.
You suck.
Which means Anya might be affected next. She's human. You and I aren't.
I beg to differ. I'm human.
You don't know.
And we'll end this conversation right here, right now. Because if I don't know, I don't want to know.
Picks up his phone, flips it open. Oh, Anya left me a message. Listens to the message. Blah, 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 blah. He's holding it at arm's length. Wow. Apparently she's trying to do her ancestors proud, I see.
I told you she'd kick you in the nuts.
Delete. You get a phone call.
What? Finally? Good grief! How long does it take you to actually listen to your messages?
Well, I'm terribly sorry, but I was very,
He was reading a book and listening to music.
I was detained researching, he says to you, and giving someone a medical examination.
Yeah, Charles Dickens is great research.
Whatever.
I'm surprised you even joke about the medical examinations. When does snogging count as a diagnosis?
There's something really, 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 really weird going on here.
Just to be clear on things, you don't feel any musical tendencies or an urge to like burst out in song or anything, do you?
No.
Okay, good. We need to keep it that way. Are you wearing your necklace?
Yes.
Put it underneath your shirt, close to your skin.
It already is.
Good, that'd be why you're not affected. It seems there's a low-grade telepathic pulse affecting human minds.
No kidding, really?
Is it coming from the Xboxes?
What's an Xboxes?
You don't know what an Xbox is.
I know this
You
may
know
be
what the
very...
furry wiggle is, but you don't know what an Xbox is.
I know this may be very hard to believe, but I'm not completely conversant with all the pop culture references from every single culture I visited. What is an Xboxes?
That's
Xbox.
plural for an Xbox, and it's a gaming system.
But you called it an Xbox. Are we talking about, like, you know, he gives us, like, really, she can't see it. He says really oogie, like, grossed out look on his face. Like, you know, man, woman, marital, kind
Oh,
of...
for Christ's sake, no.
No.
Okay, thank God.
It's just regular computer games or whatever. But apparently...
And besides, you don't have to be married to play those.
My brother, he was playing on this old Xbox 4, and he just...
My God, I still play those?
I sonicked him to find out what was going on, and apparently there was like some neural thingy going on. I can show you the ratings from my screwdriver when I get there. But apparently this is his isn't the only incident. There's some other ones going about too.
You got the box with you?
Yeah, I have the box.
So you
with
took
me.
your brother's game box, huh?
Yeah.
Good for her. Intervention.
Trust me, I was about ready to take an axe to it, but I wasn't sure if that would.
All right, why don't you swing by the pub?
That's where I was already heading.
Excellent.
And I'll shoot it. And then I can shoot it.
Not until after we've examined it, please.
Then I can shoot it.
Maybe not even then, Mr. Thomas. Please stop being so American.
You're thinking about American. That's a deed for society.
All right.
I'll see you shortly.
So you end up at the pub.
Yeah.
I need a willpower roll on the way to the pub.
See the old lady?
That was not very good.
Does she see the SS chick again?
Nope.
Or one of her exes?
11.
You're driving away to the pub, and it being London,
Mhm.
traffic,
Oh boy.
Lots of traffic.
lots of traffic, slow going.
That makes LA look fast.
And so you're sitting there, and you're tapping on the steering wheel, and you're like, you know, I don't want to think about this. This is just, ugh. And without thinking about it, you turn on the radio,
Oh dear.
okay? And it's like some...
We should probably flip through the stations.
Start flipping through the
so
stations.
we
You go through, like,
find-
what they kind of call, like, trance step. You go through your trance step. You go through your heavy classic rock, where they're playing, like, you know, the Metallica We Got Together with Our Grandson's album.
He's probably looking for
Going
the
through,
best
and you
station.
find a station that plays, quote, valuable historical music in the interest of preserving phonic history. And they're playing, like, stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 60s. 1970s, 60s, and 60s, right?
Probably skipped over that.
and you come across a song. We are family. And you can't turn it off. I got all my sisters in me. Roll willpower.
I gotta do better this time. Not by much.
Bam!
Anya starts moving her hips and her shoulders before it's long. She shouldn't know the words of the song, so you're kind of humming it back like Gets in your car.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is fun.
God.
Thank you. Watch out, it's got some juicy. Wash my hands.
By the time you get to the pub, we hear her enter the pub.
Yeah.
She's singing a black gospel choir song at full volume at the top of her lungs.
Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Well, at least it's gospel, man.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
I'm sorry, but we are family. There's just certain Motown tunes that are highly overrated. I would have probably attempted to stun gun her if she came in singing "Not We Are Family."
So you walk in. Now at this point, many people in the restaurant are also kind of like moving and bumping. When you come in singing a song, they start picking up the song.
Oh, my.
The doctor grabs you by the wrist and goes, "Come with me."
Just kiss her.
Wait, what?
That shocks you out of your singing. I'll allow that.
Oh, all right. Wait, hold. Xbox.
I don't need to kiss her. She has no need for medical diagnosis. It's very clear to me that she's been affected.
Wait a minute. Medical diagnosis. You were kissing somebody before.
Yes,
I had
and
to
the
be-
jealousy rears its head.
Why not you kissing somebody?
He looks at you and he's like, "Don't make me Vulcan nerve pinch you."
You can actually do that.
Yes.
That's okay. He can Vulcan nerve pitch
Did
me,
you show me?
and I can stun gun his ass.
If you keep being annoying, I might. Listen.
What?
He puts his hands beside your head.
She was like, what are you doing?
You have been affected. I'm trying to find the part of your brain. Zip, 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 zip.
Yeah.
All right. Put both hands on your amulet.
I think he's poking me in the ass.
This might sting. Suddenly, all those memories that you really don't want to have
Mm-hmm.
come to the surface.
Oh boy.
Like, your first broken heart, first
Meanwhile-
bad love affair, getting your first shin splint, bad stuff, all right? Seeing someone die on the way on the metro home. All that kind of stuff floods to the front for a second. Zoop.
Is the singing stopped?
And your character actually now feels a little depressed.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Has the singing
How do you
stopped?
feel? People are sporadically going around the pub singing.
Zap.
Like I need chocolate. Let's see
Yeah.
what's chocolate.
Zoop.
Good. She's on her own. All right. TARDIS.
Zoop.
He walks in the back room.
Zoop. I'm having fun.
Wells!
Well, it stops the singing.
He opens it. You get inside. He hits communicator on the TARDIS. TARDIS says, "Who are we calling, Master?" "Torchwood. Harkness." Ding.
Do we have to?
A video camera image comes up. There's a much older Yanto Jones standing there, looking at the camera. Behind him, you see Jack going around in circles, singing, of all things, "When we dance to the masochism tango, ole!" And the doctor just looks at the screen. Yanto looks at the doctor and says, "Help."
No, not yet. I want footage of this.
The doctor goes, "I'll work my Fred Astaire magic as soon as I can." Click. Turns the video off.
No, I want more footage.
My friends at Pooza were noticing a pattern of sorts. I told them I'd grab you, take you over there.
Not a problem. We'll just take a short hop. Boom! You hit something. You make a balance roll.
I'm sorry, I really just the image of Jack Harkness doing that just that's priceless.
17.
Okay.
Oh my god, that was priceless. Oh come on.
And you manage to keep your feet.
Oh, mine's 17 roll. I'm trying.
You keep your feet. Boom! The doctor goes,
I
"Okay,
thought you had to draw
that shouldn't have happened."
What'd you run into
Every
this
time you
time?
say that, something world-shaking
He
happens.
looks at the instruments. It appears that something's telepathically affecting the planet, so it's also affecting the TARDIS, because the TARDIS is a telepathic link to us.
You know what?
And since it got into your head, it's now inside the TARDIS's head. It's at that point that you hear, on the good ship, lollipop. He looks up at the sky and goes, I'll save you, baby. I'll move heaven and earth.
Please. Please.
Because
Because if she breaks out into, we are on the yellow submarine, I would probably start shooting things.
Oh, it can't be as bad as Yellow Submarine. He opens the doors, and you look, and there's a bunch of guys with long hair. One's got long hair, no beard, and a pair of purple glasses. He's standing next to an Asian chick. There's a quiet guy off in the corner. Another guy who just looks, we're not even sure he's human, in the corner by the drums. And the last guy with kind of a pug nose and an Irish kind of look to him and big hair. And there's sheet music scattered everywhere. And it's clear that you guys have like walked into the middle of an argument or something. Because the guy with the purple glasses and the guy with the pug look are kind of closer together. They look a little heated, but they're all looking shocked at you. The doctor looks out the doors, looks at the room. Oh.
If I can shoot her, I can save a lot of lives.
I realize this is quite extraordinary, and we apologize for intruding upon your recording session. And apparently, if I'm getting the time right and the guests, your band's having one of its famous arguments. But is everyone feeling okay? You mean other than a blue box, says the guy from the drums. You mean other than a blue box put up in the middle of my recording studio? Yes, other than that. Oh, I'm just peachy keen, mate. I can't do Ringo's voice very well.
I can shoot him.
No, put it away, put it away. Right, takes out a sonic screwdriver. I know this will be a little hard to believe, but I actually am a doctor. I need to conduct a medical examination.
Oh, you're going to do more of those, huh?
It's okay. Nobody wants to kiss Yoko.
Manners, both of you. You're talking to the 5 most influential people in the late 20th century. They completely changed the popular culture and group consciousness of the entire Western world. Perhaps a little less giving away that we're from the future might be in order.
Oh.
He whips out his psychic paper.
They're doing enough drugs, they won't remember this thing in a week.
He whips out Department of Health and Services. There is something going around. It is electromagnetic in nature, and I do need to conduct a survey. Oh, right. Bloody NHS. And they all kind of sit back.
Doctor, you know as well as I do, as much drugs as they're doing, they won't remember shit within a week.
During this time, they were only smoking pot.
Uh-huh. And Yellow Submarine explains that, huh?
Let's just conduct the examinations and we'll go all on our way. Anya, would you mind helping me?
Suppose.
He
I need to talk to Yoko Ono for
goes over to the quiet guy. One at a time. The doctor goes to the quiet guy. You go where?
Just randomly picks one.
Say you have the drummer. You go talk to Lennon and Yoko.
Yeah.
Okay. She's conversing with him in Japanese. Do you understand Japanese?
I haven't got a fucking clue.
Okay.
It's
He's
not a dead language.
he's speaking it very haltingly, like he's just learning. Okay, and you can tell basically they're practicing and doing whatever. So you come over, and Lennon is there with Ono, and Ono just kind of looks at you and goes, "Hello," in her very heavy accent.
Hello.
Lennon's like, "So I didn't catch your name. Are you an assistant or some kind of government flute stooge?"
Oh, I'm basically the muscle.
You feel like a soldier, am I right?
Pretty much.
Well, man, I hope you're okay with the karma that's gonna
Oh, I'm pretty
bring down.
satisfied with my karma. You see, when people come around destroying things, I destroy them. So as far as I'm concerned, my karma's pretty good.
You sound American. You've been over in Vietnam.
Oh no, I've been in worse places than that.
Well, maybe if we behaved in a more civil and more enlightened manner, we wouldn't have to have your profession. I mean, your profession right now is bombing little kids who've had nothing to do with the problems between the governments and the nation states.
Very true, but then again, if the people they were trying to bomb would not hide among kids, we didn't have to.
So you
who's
expect
more
them to come
responsible?
fight you fairly?
Well, of course. After all, they're
Fighting
supposed to be
itself
the good
is the
guys.
problem.
Very true.
You begin to have this philosophical debate with John Lennon. I don't want to sit there and role play it because my own philosophical views are slightly opposed to his. I don't think I can do it justice. So go ahead and give me a roll of your oration. I'll roll his, and we'll see if any headway is made either way. What do you guys make an observation roll?
Let's see. So 20 plus 17 plus 8 plus 6.
Okay. You actually managed to come to a little bit of a grudging respect. So though he may differ from you, you can tell he's incredibly sincere.
Well, I know that.
And the thing he keeps going back to is that he keeps going back to, in his opinion, structures itself are the problem. So you're talking to him, he's often in categories like being like a communist or a Marxist. You're getting the impression he's very much more like a true anarchist.
Oh, I always had that part about him. I don't know why people thought he was a communist. He wasn't.
It's what keeps coming up.
I know. You read his stuff though, and he's not a communist. He is very much an anarchist.
Okay. So you're sitting there and you're talking with him, and
so yeah, good observation on your part. Most people don't get that.
So you're sitting there and you notice that while Yoko's watching the two of you talk back and forth, she's also watching the doctor.
Am I making headway with this guy? I rolled natural 20 plus a 17, so.
Well, you actually cause him to pause and think about what he's saying with you. I mean, that's the only other thing. You walk away from the conversation feeling that he disagrees with you still, but now he's got doubts.
Or at least one.
There's not doubts on what he believes, but it's doubts on how he wants to get where he wants to go. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Okay.
I never assumed I'm going to change John Lennon's freaking mind. I mean, the guy was set.
Iconoclast. So you're watching Ono, and she's watching the doctor. And coming back to your conversation, keeps turning her eyes towards the doctor, and then coming back to you. She can't seem to take her eyes off of you.
Oh,
you.
God.
All right, so you're over there working on Ringo. Hey, be careful of my hands, you know?
Trust me, the worst thing that'll happen with this is,
That's not going to give me cancer or something, is it?
No, trust me.
No.
You're not going to be that lucky.
Why is it glowing blue?
Because it has a Smurf inside it.
Is that some kind of, like, computer part? Roll your observation.
He's stoned out of his gourd, man.
He should up to the recording session slightly high.
Yeah, 16.
You're like, what the... In your time period, although intoxication still happens, druggies are kind of rare. Because by the time 2050 rolls around, the pharmaceutical companies have got stuff that will get you high and has no bad side effects.
Oh, boy.
All right?
About sooner or later that is going to happen.
Okay. So, you've never seen a high from a narcotic before. And it occurs to you, this is something you read about in high school that you've never seen. He's high. He starts giggling at the Pillsbury Doughboy boy.
Oh, that's just fun.
Harrison comes over and goes, "Excuse me, miss.
Oh, yeah?
I realize Ringo's enjoying his diversion, but it's not fair to take advantage of him. You have an exam to give or something. Here I am. Examine me."
Yeah, George was the nice, quiet one.
Your readings suddenly go off the roof.
What have you been taking?
He's human, but his psychic ability... You don't know what this reading means on your sonic screwdriver because the doctor's not briefed you on psychic readings. His psychic rating is 87.
Oh, wait, doctor!
Doctor comes over, yes? His eyes go up.
What?
So,
I confirm that reading.
oh, what? So you doubted my screwdriver?
Mr. Harrison, it's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I could touch that in so many ways, but I won't.
Harrison's like, surely. The doctor looks over and goes, "Is that your sitar?" "Yeah, it was given by Rajesh Shankar himself." Please, I'm a big fan of Rajesh Shankar and of some of your work. "My work?" Harrison says. The doctor goes, "Yeah,
Spoilers.
I've heard little snippets here and there, and I can tell your taste in some of the past concerts. Could you play us a piece, please? Bring everyone's mood back." "Sure, man, I can do that." He goes over, he picks it up, and goes, "What would you like to hear?" "Actually, I would like to hear something classical." Has Shankar actually like anything for like I forget the term for it. The Sikhs actually have a term for some of the played prayers that they have.
I don't know. I don't know about the Sikh religion to know about that.
And he goes, "Yeah, I kind of know one." And he starts going through something where you can tell he's improvising a little bit or something he's heard at some point, but it is absolutely beautiful. And the mood in the room immediately changes from them being pissed off and suspicious to them being kind of okay. Even Ringo gets a little more sober.
That's saying much.
And the doctor leans over to you and goes, he's an empath.
Okay.
He's a projective empath. He projects emotions.
So how does that affect us in the 21st century?
My uncle, he said he listened to the White, whatever.
The White Album.
Yeah, White Album.
That's the one
He
you're recording
listened
here.
to it backwards, and it had like hidden messages on it. And then he came to my apartment and was listening to it, like hooked up like this. He said he was listening to it sideways to delete all the commands.
Well, that's silly. There's no way that could produce any kind of effect. He's obviously, the doctor closes his eyes. Mistaken. He quickly amends with what he was going to say.
Nuts.
Well,
He stomps your foot. Stop trying to get me in trouble.
Yes, we know he's nuts.
Crazy. I know he's crazy.
But the problem is, though, doctors, he's usually right.
just in case it's a hint at something.
He leans down. He picks up some sheet music. They're in the process of recording the White Album right now.
Yeah, I figured as much with Yoko here.
He sets the papers down.
I still can't shoot her, can I?
No. You guys seem clean, but, I'm a big fan of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It was an amazing album, one of the most influential albums ever. Would you guys do me a favor and just play a little something in your jam session? Paul looks over at Lynn and goes, I don't know, can we? Lynn rolls his eyes and goes, Paul, we've had this discussion. I'm tired of playing just pop crap that's mass-produced. You can't treat music like an automobile coming off an assembly line.
Tell that. Never mind.
But you've got us playing stuff that's so out there, no one's going to relate to it, except for George. George is like,
Don't bring George into this.
looks up, and goes back to playing the sitar.
Don't bring George into this.
Lennon goes, look, let's try something. They pick up a track from the album. And I don't know the albums well enough to know what song was on what. But they pick some famous Beatles song, insert here, and they start playing.
Yellow
Roll your
Submarine.
observations.
Yellow Submarine, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. They actually had a lot of the stuff they play now. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, I Am the Walrus, Yellow Submarine.
That's when they started doing the hallucinogenics.
Yeah, that was Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. That
What
was
do you
when they really
15.
15?
Eek, nothing.
Okay, so you guys sit down, and the band starts playing. And as they start playing, because Harrison's there and he's playing, he's apparently a projective empath,
Now I roll.
you all feel really good because the song they play is, I'm not sure if this song is on the album, but let's say for the sake of the game's continuity, that Here Comes the Sun is on the album.
Mm-hmm.
Here Comes the Sun is a very helpful song about things look bad, but they're going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the room starts feeling really good.
Actually, that was on the White Album.
Okay? So you're sitting there,
That's one of George's songs.
and the doctor looks over and notices something. And he leans into Wells, and he goes, can you do me a favor?
Shoot Yoko? Come on, you know how
Look, I know that many fans of the band want Yoko Ono to die and think the worst thing that ever happened was when Yoko Ono
Actually,
met John Lennon.
No. I want to shoot her just because of her singing.
Well, she's not singing right now, so she doesn't sound like a cat in heat, so let's leave it alone. It's true, Yoko's a very bad singer.
Yes.
Okay.
The worst thing that ever happened in John's career was putting her on his albums.
All right. So, here's what I think I need you to do. I need you to follow Ono and Lennon tonight when they go home.
And then I can shoot her.
No. No perforating anybody with projectile weapons. Or any other kind of weapon for that matter.
If I'm the guy who shoots John Lennon, can I shoot him?
No. That's not going to happen for several years yet. No, you can't. Look, I'm aware that many Beatles fans, and I'm not saying I don't understand why,
I don't blame her for that.
would like to intervene here and break them up.
No, that had to do with
But
John.
the band has other problems.
That was all about those two Johns having an ego problem. I don't blame her for that. I blame her for dragging John down with her after they broke up.
How do you know she didn't actually set him free?
I'm not talking about that either. I don't think she had anything to do with the breakup to the band. I'm talking about his career after the band. She dragged him down.
So am I.
So let's kill her.
No.
Then he has a wonderful career after the
He's
breakup.
got things coming up like 7 Stars Across the Rainbow. That album's going to change the world.
Yes.
Stop.
And it'll be better without her.
Stop. You've never heard of 7 Stars Across the Rainbow.
Yeah, but I'm so wrapped up in the conversation, I'm not paying attention.
Oh, good role playing.
Yes.
Okay, good role playing. Not to mention that when he gets that post to Africa, he helps start the aid relief things for Africa.
Okay, that will catch my attention. because he's dead by the time AIDS comes around.
Yeah.
Dude, he's dead then.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He gets shot in 81.
The doctor looks around the room, quickly sneaks a hand over to you, makes a brief telepathic link, and you see the history of the doctor remembers it. And Lennon's alive up until the 90s when he dies of old age. He never gets shot.
Okay. That's not how I remember it.
His musical style also is not what you remember.
That's really bad.
His musical style is actually quite different. It sounds a lot more like picture not quite techno, but picture like trance, but with acoustic instruments.
Oh, God. No, we have to stop that from happening. It's better he gets shot.
I happen to like trance a lot, thank you. He's saying, what do you mean? This all happens.
No, it does not.
He looks around the room. I'm getting tired of people monkeying with my favorite parts of history.
Yeah, well, how do you think I feel? You're keeping me from killing Yoko, so we all have our own happiness right now.
So they stop playing.
I want to kill her for crimes against art.
They stop playing. You all feel actually really good and really hopeful. And Paul comes over to John and goes, look, I'm sorry. We can work it out. I mean, it's the album, right? Let's get through the album, and then we'll sit down. We'll have a big, thorough discussion about what we want to do as a band. The band's like, okay, let's do that.
I got a suggestion. Take a break every other year and do solo projects, and everybody gets to have their voice heard. On their own albums, doing their own thing. With the rest of you playing
The other
backup.
three Beatles kind of hiss. You see them kind of wince. You see Yoko look a little smug. Apparently she suggested that not too long ago.
But you must work on those solo albums as a group. One writes the songs and sings them, the others play the backup.
So they get
That way everybody gets to influence each other.
they hear you. They start breaking up for the night. And as they're breaking up, you hear McCartney still talking about how John's Biscotti, he's going to ruin their listening audience. And John's still grumbling about Paul doesn't get it, so she'll be off the music. Yada, yada, yada.
I never understood why. That's the reason I don't blame Yoko for the breakup, because that is how most bands survive breakups and keep them from happening. Is they allow each other to go off and do solo projects. Historically she did make that suggestion. They didn't listen, and they broke up anyway.
Okay, so
That's why I don't blame her.
one more question. All right,
So
so
I actually think that Paul was right too about the music.
the doctor looks over at you and goes, do me a favor.
Well,
He's talking to Anya. Follow Harrison.
okay.
I'm going to follow McCartney. He looks over at Ringo. We don't have to worry about that one.
Yeah, he's
Ringo's still sitting by the drums.
I think he's good for the night.
Yeah, oh boy.
Which I'm not sure if Ringo was that much of a druggie in real life, but
No, he was not.
for the sake of the adventure.
But he was the last to give up the hallucinogens.
Okay.
It did brain fry him to a certain degree.
Oh,
That's the
boy.
reason he still talks the way he talks today.
All right, so you are following Harrison.
Mhm.
All right, Harrison leaves. He gets into a cab. The cab starts heading into, because this is being recorded in Liverpool, starts heading into downtown.
So she gets a cab and
Okay,
follows them? I don't know.
all right.
Whatever.
You flag down the cab. Taxi pulls up. Hello, miss. He looks you up and down.
Hey, I'm out of town. Would you mind going that way a bit? I'll give you the directions as we're going along.
Okay. He's in the cab.
Yeah. And she just, she keeps an eye on the other cab and just tells him to.
They go into downtown. Harrison gets out in front of a building that looks like it's renovated. Looks like it's old renovated flats have been turned into a small commercial property. It's like 3 stories tall. You can tell like back in the 30s or 40s it must have been an apartment building, but now it's like small commercial stores stacked on top of one another. And he walks into one that has a strange character written on it. It's written in purple on a big white disc. Does your character have any familiarity with yoga?
No, but she'll take her phone out and take a picture of it.
Okay. It's the Om symbol, but your character may not know what that is.
Actually, I'd never seen the symbol that I can remember.
It looks like a big backwards 3.
Really? Oh, that's what that is.
It's a little dot with a big backwards 3 and then a diamond.
That's
and
what
then a
that
step down.
is.
Yeah, it's
Okay. I never freaking knew what the hell that was.
Okay.
Learn something new every day.
Taxi drive past a bit, so that way it
Okay.
doesn't look like she's following him too much.
You get in, and Harrison is there with a bunch of people doing yoga.
Okay.
We'll have to replace this
Okay.
round.
And off in the back of the room, you see a bunch of musical instruments, traditional Indian instruments, and everybody else in the room except for Harrison looks like they're from India.
Okay. She'll find a discreet little corner somewhere where she can keep an eye on him and, not be seen.
Okay. They go through their yoga set. They're there for about an hour going through asanas. And then they all sit down. You see them all lie down on the ground doing the last asana, the one where you just kind of sit there and breathe. Then they all leave, and he sits there, and he has this conversation with an old, wizened-looking Indian guy. And the guy's got kind of salt and pepper,
There we go.
long hair, tied back. And he's not wearing a turban or anything, but he's got very, very dark Dravidian-type skin, and he has a red dot in the middle of his forehead.
I think those pants are a little harsh.
And so they're talking back and forth, and you can tell from this distance that they're not speaking English.
Are they speaking Dravidian or
Video
Indian?
recorder.
Okay? You record video.
Are they speaking Hindi or
Probably speaking
Indian
Hindi.
Or...
And so eventually Harrison gets ready, and he gets ready to leave, and he leaves with this guy. When they're in the yoga studio, all dressed like typical Indian clothing, like long, like almost gowns and rolled up things. When they go to leave, they're dressed like regular Brits, suits. And Harrison actually takes his long hair at the time and ties it back in a ponytail and hides it beneath his collar and puts a hat on so no one will recognize him.
Clever.
It's well known that Harrison's called, quote, the quiet Beetle. He did not like the notoriety. He didn't like it at all. So him and this guy walk down to a shop. They walk into the shop. And they sit down. Harrison flags a person down. She brings over liver and onions.
He's not a vegetarian.
No, he's supposed to be vegetarian. This part you remember.
It's it. He's not a vegetarian.
Harrison's supposed to be a vegetarian. Then they bring beer for both of them. They both drink beer and have their liver and onions. You record that.
Yeah.
Okay. You follow Lennon and Ono. So they go to their apartment. They get into their flat. The whole way there, no deviations. Give me an observation roll when you get there. And an awareness check.
Oh, well, at least the observation roll went well. That was a 28.
You spot two guards.
And another, I don't know. What's the awareness on this one? I got scores different. 23.
There's a guard in the lobby, and there's a guard out in the street. The guard out in the street is dressed like a bum. The guard in the lobby is dressed like a bellhop. They look oddly familiar. What was your total score in your observation?
28.
28. I don't think that's high enough. Let me double check the success chart. Oh no, it is. 28 would be extremely difficult. You have it. You look at them for a couple seconds, and if it weren't dark, you would have seen it right away. They're a little shorter than the average human. They're about 2 inches shorter than they should be. About 2 inches broader. And their features look kind of smashed.
Oh, good God Almighty.
They're partially Centauran or some kind of Centauran clone. Because they were full Centaurs, they'd be about a foot shorter.
Yeah, I know.
They look like spuds. They're some kind of partial Centauran clone.
Oh yeah, this definitely screams interference. Doctor, come on, answer.
Bring, bring. Hello. In the
Yeah.
background, you hear what sounds like a pub. Lots of talking.
Okay, I'm not even gonna wonder where you are right now.
Following McCartney.
So McCartney's off getting drunk. Okay, and chasing chicks.
Actually, right now he's playing the piano.
That sounds like McCartney. Listen, I'm over at Yoko and John's place since, hey, let's just put down who's actually driving the relationship here.
10 XP. Yes, everyone agree he was whooped.
He was whooped. Big time. He was so whooped. Thank you.
Okay.
But anyways, I thought you might want to know that we got two possible, some kind of genetically engineered Centaurans here. They look kind of human, but not quite human. They're
Centaurans?
Yeah, they're about they're about a few inches too.
What are the aggressive Mr. Potato Heads doing here?
That's the point. They're not entirely Mr. Potato Head. They're only partially Mr. Potato Head, which is kind of sad because I love Potato Head.
Well, that's interesting. Only partially Centauran?
Apparently so.
That goes against their belief structure.
They're about 6 inches taller than a normal Centauran, but a few inches shorter than an average human, and then a few inches wider than the average human, but not quite as wide as a Centauran. Basically, it's a wonderful little mix of potato head and cucumber.
Still in Liverpool.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but it just screams interference to me.
It does indeed. Well, I'm going to keep tailing McCartney the rest of the night. Observe and report back to me everything you find, Mr. Wells. Good job. Don't get spotted.
Oh, that's okay. If they spot me, I'll just kill them.
You hear silence at the end of the line.
I'm not talking about Yoko. I'm talking about the Centaurans.
The doctor says, good, because you had me worried that you might cause some kind of major rip in history. But we can
Well,
afford to lose
unlike the one that's already going on.
But we can afford to lose a couple extra spuds. Future Centauran fish and chips on the cooking bed of his. That came out bad. I had something prepared and just it completely got destroyed. Never mind. He says something pithy and quippy, like the 10th Doctor David Tennant would do, and you chuckle, and they go from there. Okay. Back to you watching Harrison.
I promise.
He and his guy finish their liver and onions.
I won't kill Yoko. I'll just beat her up a bit.
They walk out of the pub. They give each other a little namaste bow, and then the guy goes his way, and Harrison hails down the cab.
Hails down another cab.
Okay.
You're not going to
Same
carjack
thing as
anybody, are you?
before.
You're
Okay.
not going to carjack anything, are you?
No, she knows better than to do that.
You get the screwdriver, just go jump into, screwdrive the car, jump in, take off.
The last thing she needs is the police getting down on her.
It's
Like,
friggin'
"Wait,
3
wait,
o'clock in the
sir."
morning. In
Don't
Britain,
worry.
in 1970-something, nobody's going to care. On the other hand, you may get one
It's
of
actually
those-
1969.
Yeah, 1960. On the other hand, don't steal a car because you're likely to, God knows what that poor car would do to you.
Wait a minute, 69?
Yeah,
No, 68. 68. 68 is the white
Yeah,
album.
this is the time period where the British auto industry basically drove itself into the ground, even without the unions.
All right, so you drive yourself. So the cab picks you up. You follow him. He goes back to his flat. He goes into his flat and he goes to sleep that night.
And that's pretty much
You
it.
ever watch Top Gear?
Yeah.
No.
You ever watch Top Gear? It's a British auto show.
No, I haven't.
There's this episode, every few episodes they do an episode where they take the worst car in the world, which is a 1971 British car. I forgot the exact company it's made from, and they go, we're going to race this and this car against the worst car in the world, and they do a pan shot of this little tiny white piece of shit that even brand new still looks like a piece of shit, and all of a sudden they drop something on it. And I go, well, that contest is over.
All right, so you guys get back to the TARDIS. The Doctor has moved it from the recording studio to a parking lot near the recording studio.
Alright, I got some weird video. I mean, it's not anything that really screamed, but, it's odd.
You are not even showing up on the audio on this side.
Oh, well.
Okay, so he takes the video, he looks at it, and he goes, what's wrong? Harrison eats meat.
He was a vegetarian.
Really?
Yeah?
Doctor puts his hand on your head, shares you history as he remembers it.
Did somebody drop you on your head when you regenerated?
Here's the divergence. In real life, the Beatles go to India under the tutelage of this guy called the Maharishi. The Maharishi is very much like the prototypical cult guy, okay?
Mhm.
And they leave him when it's revealed. Harrison's actually the first one to leave. They leave him when it's revealed that he's sexually advanced on he's making sexual advancements on some of his devotees.
Ah.
In this timeline, they end up going to a different yogi who permits his people to eat meat.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and so there's some variances here in the time the Doc remembers, and the timeline you remember.
Okay, why do we have different histories going on in our heads?
A Time Lord sees time every possible way it can fracture. The way that I remember is the way that is most likely to the central time stream to occur. That's how we determine if something is fixed or flexible. At some point in this history, after it flowed, someone went back and made a change at a flexible point, which is the Maharishi rather than this guy. and we'll call him for sake of the adventure, Drengar, which is not an indie name I know, but I came up with it, so it's Drengar.
There you go.
So what's happened is someone has taken history and made it wobble.
Okay.
If you say wibbly
They've
wobbly time
wobbled
scale,
it just enough that's made like a bubble in a piece of pizza dough, but still keeps the shape of the dough. That's why nobody noticed the change. That's why you guys remember it a certain way, and I see it the way it should have happened.
Right. Okay.
What?
What?
So what we need to do now
Uh-huh.
is start eliminating who and where they are and how they did it. We got pseudospuds
Mm-hmm.
hanging around the Lennon and Oko. You ought to find it kind of... This one actually uses slang. He's much more like a 20th or 21st century human being than the other ones you've encountered as far as his demeanor so far you're seeing. So we got pseudospuds hanging around hanging around Ono and Lennon. And we got a George Harrison that's projectively empathic. This would explain part of the popularity of the band.
Oh, and he's also, well, not a vegetarian.
He's not supposed to be a vegetarian.
Yes, he is.
He has the same conversation with you that he just had with her.
No, I got it. Sorry, but, my timeline was here first.
No, the timeline I remember is the one that actually occurred. Time doesn't happen first, last, or second. It all kind of happens at once.
Hey, it's my timeline. I'm here, and I got the gun, so it's my timeline.
You're not Bruce Campbell.
No, but I wish I was sometimes.
Yeah, don't you? I mean, that chin alone.
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the charisma.
Oh, the chin.
Both men realize they're suddenly idolizing a male role model in front of you, and they look kind of awkward about it.
Never mind.
No, yeah, let's go. But Army of Darkness,
Oh,
baby,
yeah.
you got ugly real quick.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
just, okay, right. So.
I said the words. I said them.
No.
Klaatu, Verada.
No. It's a guy thing.
Right. Kind of like naming cars.
Yes,
Yeah.
cars.
Yes.
Okay, so we have someone splitting the timeline. We got to figure out here. And it seems like following Yoko Ono and Lennon is probably the best candidates. So we got to...
Oh, good. We get to kill her then.
We are not going to kill Yoko Ono. Get this out of your operational considerations.
What if she's guilty?
Of what? Being Yoko Ono?
No, changing.
I realize there are many people that think that's enough of a reason to assassinate her. But no, we cannot just go assassinate people for them being who they are.
We do it all the time.
We do not do that all the time, Mr. Wells. Only in certain very, 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 very extremely rare, entirely necessary occasions. Known as flukes.
Yes.
This is not one of them.
Shit. Headed me off in the past.
We are not killing Yoko Ono.
What if
That's
she has to-
final.
But what if she has the fluke?
She's not a fluke. Your medical scan revealed that she's not a fluke, right?
It didn't come up with anything weird.
You remember examining her.
Wait a minute. I didn't examine her.
See?
You were supposed to.
I thought you would...
You
See?
You told me to look at the druggy guy.
I take out
and
the weapon and I
Harrison.
hold it up and he says, "Yeah, we get to play."
Put the gun down.
You didn't tell me anything about Yoko Ono. You were supposed to take care of Yoko and John Lennon.
I got sidetracked. I forgot. I'm sorry. Well, at least we can show up down to the department and say, we're sorry we didn't administrate the examination.
So I get to kill some Satarans.
To Miss
at least.
Ono, and it gives us a reason to get in there.
So I get to kill some Satarans at least.
Okay? Her and I will go. You will stay outside.
Fine. Just put me on a leash, why don't you?
Good. We got that settled then.
What?
All right, so y'all
I know
walk
she's gonna buy
over.
that one.
So you walk all over to the apartment. And as you're going walking across the street through Liverpool, you hear a couple people actually singing old Beatles songs.
See, told you, you fluke.
It's Liverpool that people will be singing them left or right. This is the band's hometown.
It's a fluke, I tell you.
It's not a fluke. So you walk across town and you get to the apartment. You walk in. Sure enough, he points out there's a would-be bum laying across the street, kind of watching the building, seeing who's coming up and down the road.
Bellhop.
And when he sees you guys walking up, you see him kind of go, ugh, with his beer. And you can tell he's using some kind of communication device, so now they're going to know you're coming. The one inside just kind of watches you all as you walk in. The doctor walks up, pulls out a psychic paper and goes, National Health Service. Right. Who are they? They're my assistants. Right. And what can we do for you, sir? I need to see Yoko Ono and John Lennon immediately. Of course you do, sir, says the guy, realizing he must get this request all the time. I just couldn't possibly. The doctor pulls him. Listen, you know they go to third world countries, right? Yeah. They picked up gastritis bengalis in the last place they went. Do you want an outbreak of gastritis bengalis in Liverpool? Maybe over London. Do you want to be the person responsible for everyone coming down with gastritis bengalis? No. Good. What room? 229. Thank you. Puts him down and gets walking away. Walk up the stairs. He's whistling to himself as he goes up.
Yes, you don't want the whole country getting a tummy ache.
Actually, he goes up the stairs whistling. I can't sing it. What?
Just check and make sure you're not under the psychic thing.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, just doing a scarecrow.
Just,
song.
Little antsy. This is so cool. We get to see his house. I mean, for historical reasons.
Doctor, if you gush any further, you're going to flood the elevator.
It's the Beatles.
Yeah.
This is like walking onto the stage with Buddy Holly and finding out he didn't die in the plane crash.
He did die in the plane crash.
Oh, no. That was a callback to another game. We actually did that with
I
Buddy
know.
Holly and found out he didn't die in the plane crash.
Yeah, I know.
I wasn't
going to throw that one at you.
So, you get up there, he knocks on the door. The door opens just a little bit. There's Ono. Yes. I'm terribly sorry, Miss Ono, but in all the confusion, we forgot to give you the examination. We need to medically examine you, please. I feel fine, she says. I understand, but the symptoms of gastritis bengalis can be very, very severe and come on you suddenly. Her head tilts a bit and she goes, but I don't have diarrhea. He looks at you.
Yes.
I wish you brought Wells. And he puts his shoulder into the door. Roll initiative.
Oh wait, wrong dice.
Sorry, if I don't get to kill Yoko, I'm not making you happy with Buddy Holly.
3.
Don't me.
Initiative.
I'm not there.
You're still outside. You're going to hear the scuffles and stuff. And you know what you act on.
You're going to be the second story of the building. How can I hear it?
You're going to hear the scuffle.
All right.
I need to know what part you act on.
All right, what do I have to roll here?
D6.
5 plus 4 is a 9.
Okay. You go first. When it comes to your turn, you'll be able to preempt anybody that comes in.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor slams through the door into her. She backs up a little bit. When she backs up, you hear something go clunk when she hits the ground. Something heavy. You don't see any other item, you see her body. The door swings open. The doctor's on this side of the door. The door's here. She's on the other side. Lennon's laying on a couch. And next to him, there's all this weird high-tech gear hooked up to his brain.
Oh dear.
Your initiative.
Okay.
Remember, she's not a 90-year-old SAS agent, so you can actually win this one.
As far as we know.
Yeah, you're never going to live that one down.
Using sonic screwdriver to what? Take a reading, manipulate
take
something?
A reading on Yoko, so she
Take a
knows
reading.
what the
So you
hell
take
she's
an
doing
action and
today.
take a reading. Make a reading roll. Sonic screwdriver
That's
skill.
actually a good call. Find out what the hell she is.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, she's not very good combat.
And it's one action.
Let's see. 15.
The reading comes up bioorganic. I'm sorry, not bioorganic. I can't remember the term. She is a living machine, is what the reading comes up with. Her
Bioengineered.
components are metal and plastic,
About to say
like a cyborg. But unlike a cyborg, they have cellular structure.
Oh, okay.
She's actually a naturally occurring mechanical machine.
Yeah, cyborg.
Right. Fun.
Well, I can't say cyborg. Cyborgs would like
Cybernetic organism. That's the terminology they use these days.
Okay, but I'm used to using the term cyborg or cybernetic organism as it's an already existing organism that has mechanical devices placed into it. What I'm trying to communicate is that this species, whatever she is, they are machines that breed and reproduce like regular organisms.
Yes. Cyborg is basically a pre-existing organism that has machinery put into it. A cybernetic organism
Okay.
is
We'll use that
cyborg
terminology.
and then cybernetic.
So yeah, her species is essentially living machines.
Okay.
They haven't really come up with a precise term for that yet because it's kind
Which
of a
means
new
the sonic
concept.
screwdriver should play hell with it.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
or a good old-fashioned microwave.
Try to turn her off.
Gotta do something.
You have to say what you want the screwdriver to do.
Like,
Because when the
turn
screwdriver
her
manipulates
off or-
machines.
Turn her off.
Fire with
or
microwave.
You try to turn off her power supply.
Turn
Okay.
off or
That's
deaden
big.
something or
Going for like her power supply would be big. Maybe locking her joints is what I'd recommend.
like I said, try to just turning her off or locking
A
her
microwave.
somehow
Like I said,
or
a
something.
microwave
Okay.
beam. Make her do the funky cockroach.
I don't know if the sonic screwdriver has a microwave.
Yes, you can.
I am going to rate turning her off.
I think you can do
is
anything.
a 28. Locking her joints is a 20.
Okay.
And locking just like her legs would be a 16.
And is
Hitting
this
a
the
hitting a
Sonic screwdriver.
sonic screwdriver.
They're to use a screwdriver to manipulate her.
hitting an
Okay.
electronically based life form with microwaves would be like tasering a human being.
But since she's a naturally living being, they probably actually have evolved a defense against that.
That's a possibility. But microwaves don't occur in nature a lot of times.
23.
23.
So I got her joints locked up.
She stops. She's immobilized. And she's like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm making sure you stay down.
You don't understand. You need to let me go. They're coming.
Who?
You've just alerted them. The doctor gets up and goes, yes, I know. The cavalry's on its way. You see the bellhop start up the stairs. You see the guy on the ground go around to get a car.
Oh, time to come in.
Which one do you preempt? The guy going up the stairs or the guy going to get the car?
To be honest, since I have absolutely no freaking clue what's really going on, I have to stay in character. I got no clue what's going on upstairs. I'm going to go after the guy that's going upstairs because he's going after my two friends.
All right.
Well, after my friend and the guy I work for.
All right. So you follow the bellhop up.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You're following the bellhop up. He gets up to the second floor and he starts to stealth into that hallway. You're behind him. He hasn't seen you. What do? You just shoot.
I'm not going to kill him. I just shoot him in the freaking knee.
In the middle of an apartment building, you're going to make the firearm sound. You have a taser.
Yes? But
Okay.
why?
Okay. Wells pulls out the gun, goes for a kneecap.
You got to understand the situation for me. This is a permanent solution to the problem.
Okay, go.
Well, the Bible is kind of fuzzy on the subject.
Yes,
yeah?
kneecaps.
The advantage is having a girlfriend that knows Firefly. All right, hitting him in a limb from behind without him knowing would be a 20.
Easily done.
Boom!
And then
how many dice does that gun do again? Like 3?
Yeah, but like I said, I'm only kneecapping the guy.
Still, I gotta have you roll that damage.
I'm going to dial it down.
I know, but I gotta have you roll that damage.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's up to separate the knee.
I guess I'll dial it down, though.
Boom! The knee explodes. There's a shatter of blood and gore. The poor Centauran clone goes, ah! As he falls down, you see that little neck ring thing of theirs that if you hit them from behind, they're knocked out, passively get revealed.
I forgot about that.
The camera zooms in on your face after kneecapping this poor Centauran. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh god.
Hey, even Captain Jack forgets about shit like that when he's pissed off.
Before we hear the gunshot, we have a couple of moments to trade some lines with Yoko. Yoko simply goes, you understand, we're trying to save him. They're messing with his brain.
It kind of doesn't look like that from here.
We are eliminating the programming that they're giving him.
Program.
The Centaurans.
The Centaurans.
They suffered defeat, but some of them managed to get into a time vessel and backtrack a little bit in Earth history. Something about atmospheric converters that the Doctor thwarted.
Oh, so this is
Oh,
something that
God,
Yoda
not
says then.
that.
So they are trying instead now to actually affect the culture by making the culture completely doubt its leaders and its government structures and everything. They're why Lenin is such an anarchist.
Oh.
Oh.
Doctor?
Doctor's like, it is remarked in all the histories that in his younger years, I mean, although he was always socially conscious, he was nothing like what happened when he started, saying things like, pretty soon Christianity will be dead, will be bigger than Jesus. The Imagine song alone is kind of weird because no one saw that coming. Yeah, it might pan out. What exactly are you? And then we hear the gunshot.
Oh.
Doctor looks at you,
is in
and you
there.
both say at the same time,
Thomas.
Thomas. And the doctor goes, I bet he forgot he can knock him out from behind.
I drag in a half-dead Centaur with Mr.
Who's scolding his leg going,
Shut
up! Boom.
Right. So, did you forget about the back of the neck?
Well, this is what happens. You don't let me shoot anything for a while.
Right.
What exactly are you? The doctor asks Yoko Ono. Ono puts her hands up and goes, I am a Chinan. We replaced the actual Yoko Ono and took her appearance. And her features kind of fluctuate, and you're looking at kind of like a living robot.
Answer your question. What happened to the original Yoko?
She is currently in our ship.
Can you keep her?
The doctor elbows you.
You don't have to keep her, actually. Just go ahead and space her.
He elbows you again.
Oh.
So, why Lenin's mind, the doctor asks.
Give her to the Daleks.
Lenin is very close to an... Anya elbows him. The Chinan says,
What?
Lenin's best friend is the most powerful projective telepath Earth will see for the next century. Their music, the modes, the emotions, the suggestions are going to be broadcast all throughout human history for the next 5 to 6 centuries. It's a message on par with what the doctor did when he managed to reveal the silence.
The what?
The what?
Explain later, the doctor says.
Yet again.
So, who's trying to manipulate them? The Centaurans. Why the Centaurans? They were paid.
By whom?
By that. And the doctor has you look, and in a corner there's a weird-looking alien with a bulbous head and a couple of eyes.
Oh, really?
And both of you, without realizing why, go to shoot it.
Like I said, I understand.
She goes to shoot it, but she has nothing to
She has
shoot
nothing
with.
on it. He does, however.
Yeah. I know exactly what he's
The
talking
thing
about.
dies.
I know exactly what he's talking about. It's the silence.
That was the sound?
And then you both forget about it.
Yeah.
You're sitting with your gun out. There's nothing there. You know you just fired. You don't know why.
What are you that out for? Seriously, she's not
What the
Yoko.
hell? Now I'm short around.
She's not Yoko.
I didn't point at her.
He wasn't firing at Yoko. He was firing at the silence. An alien
what?
species that's incredibly aggressive. They have a natural camouflage. They psychically damage their targets. You can only register them if you're directly looking at them. After you're not directly looking at them, they are erased from your memory.
Oh, well, that's nasty.
Yes, and they were preying on humans, and I did something to the human species for the next 2 to 3 centuries. I'll make sure that the silence wants to stay very far away from them.
Oh.
I implanted a command in all of humanity that the second they see a member of the silence, they try to kill it with anything they have nearby.
So that would explain why I go through about a half a dozen rounds a week.
That might
No, that's
be
just your
you.
target practice.
No, I go through about 500 or 600 rounds a week with target practice.
But
Trust me, shooting is something you don't use, you lose.
But the silence is trying to manipulate people.
You're trying to
Again.
manipulate people.
I am not
Okay.
manipulating. I am
Manipulating.
re-manipulating back to the default settings of humanity and history and time and stuff, except when I'm not, when things are wrong and should have gone a different way.
Yeah.
Don't mix my motives here. I'm attuning. I am re-attuning humanity to the harmony of time. That's what I'm doing.
In other words,
That's my
you're
story, and I'm
manipulating
sticking to it.
You're manipulating us. For all the good reasons.
So, what are you guys trying to do? We are removing the programming they are giving to Lennon so it doesn't meet the songs. Harrison's is an incredibly projective empath. Lennon's probably one of the most evocative speakers and celebrities of the century.
So who's Paul McCartney? Chopped liver?
Businessman.
Ah. So you're trying to keep the Beatles together, basically.
Yes, says the Junon.
You do realize that with John's ego, and even if he is retuned, I give the Doctor a look. And Paul McCartney is more or less made to be act a little more less, or I should say, a little less asinine. Their two egos are just too big to be kept in a room right now.
So you're removing stuff from his brain, right? The Doctor says. Correct. You're not putting anything in. Of course not.
Yeah, you're quick to say that, but
Sonic screwdriver at the machinery.
He puts the hand down.
What?
Sonic screwdrivers can't detect lies. You and I can see that one. What exactly are you telling him?
She was at the machinery, not
Just to record a couple extra tracks.
what?
Well, we always wondered what it would be like, if the Beatles had ever cut an album with Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix. They start mentioning other people.
I heard the Doctor go, I could go for that.
The Doctor's like,
I go for that, yeah.
let me get this straight. Your species likes psychedelic rock? Yeah, doesn't everybody?
Yeah?
I mean, come on, look at us. We are made to be heavy metal.
Dude, do you think you think we could get Janis Joplin in this room and hook her up with that stuff and maybe get her from choking to death on her own puke? And Hendrix and maybe a few others, I mean...
No. We can't keep changing the course of history.
No, but we can save Yoko, but we can't save Janis Joplin or Jimi Hendrix. Where's the justice in that?
The Doctor goes, I agree about the Janis Joplin one.
Come on. I mean, let's face facts. Hendrix wasn't the greatest guitarist to ever live, but he was groundbreaking.
All right. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to put in a suggestion. Do all the Beatles have these machines going on to them? No. Just Lennon. Well, he's the mover and shaker of the band. The Doctor rolls his eyes. You clearly haven't met Paul.
We need to get Paul's ego down a grade or two, and John's ego down a grade or two. Both.
This
Otherwise,
device,
it's not going to work.
how does it work? The alien gives some kind of technobabble explanation. Oh, so it's modified ultrasound waves. Anya,
What?
take out your screwdriver, setting 65.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I forgot.
Good.
Yeah, there's Satorn running
It's like
off.
uploading an app. It's like uploading an app.
Oh, really? What kind of app?
What do they have to wear? And she points to like the beads they're wearing, like their meditation beads from their Hindi/meditation practice. All the Beatles were into that, at least at one point. It has a conductor that makes it possible for it to conduct the signal. Good. We walk into the room. We hit our sonic screwdrivers. They suddenly think we're part of the band.
You don't know how to play any instruments.
I don't know how to sing. You really do not want to hear me sing.
Here we go again. He puts into your heads for the next 24 hours his skill at singing and playing an instrument. You now may sing and play an instrument at the expert level,
Oh.
just like he did with the aircraft.
Are you gonna have to keep doing that?
No, he says, avoiding the subject,
You do realize we have another Satorn running around out there.
which is why we're delaying going downstairs. Right now, he's probably in the car wanting to go where his buddy is.
Don't
The buddy
let me.
who shot.
Yes.
Not to mention, when the police arrive, he listens, you start to hear the distant sirens. He's either going to rabbit or come back up those stairs. He's like, we haven't moved.
You see, this is an easy problem to solve.
What, you gonna shoot that one too?
No. I can't shoot him. I'll just taser his ass.
Why didn't you do that in the first place?
Because I was in a hurry.
You forget things.
No,
Not to mention the fact this is a Satorn. If he'd been a normal Satorn, tasering his ass would have tickled. I kind
Yeah.
of forgot he was not a full-blooded individual.
Doctor's kind of going, he's got a point.
I think you're just trigger happy.
Well, there's that too. I'm not denying that. But you really think about it. If I was truly trigger happy, I would just blown his brains out instead of kept him alive so we could interrogate him later.
Yes, good try on that.
Mm-hmm.
Why haven't you applied a tourniquet yet to his leg?
He's a Centaur. Oh, shit. You gotta be able to roleplay this well.
You quickly start administering aid to the Centaur, who's been bleeding to death the entire time we've been talking.
He's a Centaur. If he was a normal Centaur, he would have bled to death. But you gotta admit, everybody would keep forgetting he's not a full-blooded Centaur. It's not something we deal with ever.
All right, so you load the app up to your sonic screwdriver. The
Okay.
police arrive about 5 minutes later.
we call the TARDIS here and get out of here before the cops show up?
I have something better.
Oh, okay, cool.
They walk in. The police walk in. Freeze, you! Doctor pulls out a psychic paper. What took you lot so long? He says in a very thick Cockney accent.
Wait a minute, there are cops with guns in Britain in 1969?
Beatles.
Good point.
Gunshot in the John Lennon's building. High-profile person. Oh, yeah, they come in armed.
Oh, yeah, okay, good point.
Well, we're sorry, Detective Inspector Commander. Or whatever the proper British legal ranking is.
Who the fuck knows?
I should write you all up. Macduff and McGillicuddy here had to accompany me. Do you know what it feels like having to answer a call with a woman? We're sorry. Go back and get the coffee and the donuts. We got work to do.
Is that an insult for an Irishman? I'm American.
And where is my call? Well, we're sorry, sir. We know that they'll be calling eventually. Good.
I mean, I'm Irish.
High-profile case like this, division will call, or one of the other organizations. Oh, look, right on time. He opens it up. Hello. Yes. Yes, I'm sitting here with John Lennon and an alien. No, not Yoko Ono.
Well, actually, technically, yes.
Shh. It seems you have a problem with Sotarans. Yes, I know you told me never to come back to Britain again. Yes, I know. You're probably trying to time lock me right now, but it's not going to work. Why? Well, I'm the doctor. I'm mysterious. I outthink you guys. It's what I do.
He's got a point.
Look, I don't care. I'm the good guy. I know you still have a hard-on for me and you don't want to accept that. But I am the good guy.
I'm not touching that one.
And you guys are the idiot, incompetent twats that keep getting in my way. So
I am
please stay out of it
definitely
on this
not
one
touching that
case. We're talking about the future of music.
And the Beatles. They're ranting right now.
I kind of figured. You want me to play elevator music while you're waiting?
He holds it out. You hear someone yelling there on the screen. Are you done? Have you vented your spleen? Good. Here's what I need to call. Ask for Brigadier General Lethbridge Stewart and explain it to him why you want to get in my way. Like, fortunately, being 69, Lethbridge Stewart was, and Unit was, in existence to balance out Torchwood, who he's just on the phone with.
So, wait a minute. Who's this Brigadier... what?
Lethbridge Stewart. You'll meet him.
Oh,
Eventually.
that one.
Yes.
Didn't he make Field Marshal?
Yes.
Oh, cool. I'd love to meet the guy.
At this point, he's a brigadier.
I'd love to meet the guy. He's got a fucking record like you would not believe.
His daughter. Oh, stunning woman. Beautiful girl.
I've seen the photographs.
Long, beautiful blonde hair.
Yeah.
Bright blue eyes.
What's
Too
her
bad
favorite
we're stuck in 2050.
Nice English features.
Yeah, too bad she's in her 60s in 2050.
Oh, so nice English features.
Yeah, she's definitely
Yes,
English.
very nice English
From the
features.
photographs I've seen, she's very much of the English Rose variety.
Oh.
And even as an American, I can appreciate that. Unfortunately, in our timeline, back in 2050, she's in her 60s now.
Oh, I feel sorry for
Ah, good. Coffee, donuts. Thank you. Well, we got lots of work to do. Investigation. The crime scene will be on the way. Oh, that's good. That's good. Go, go. Right. Okay. Well, now we got the cops stalled.
What do you want to do with the corpse?
Let's wake him up real quick.
Okay.
Ah!
Great thing about being part human, now that I figured it out and remembered, he's got balls.
Oh my.
Nothing wakes up a guy quicker than getting kicked in the nads.
That's very true. Don't let
You can
everything
answer
fuck with
all
you.
of my American friends' questions, or I can call in an interrogator. We will not break. We are Santaran. Santara! Santara! The
You don't
investi-
really have to.
I go into my little pouch and I whip out a pair of pliers and I stick them over a lighter. This will start with your nipples.
Santarans do not feel pain.
Santarans do not feel pain.
You know what?
Yes, and apparently you also sing soprano.
The doctor waits, and he whispers in your ear, tell him if he doesn't cooperate, his interrogator will be a Santaran by the name of Strax.
Oh, I got an idea. Let's get Strax to interrogate him.
What do you want to know? Guy says immediately.
Damn it, I don't get to rip off his nipples.
That's nice to see Strax's reputation precedes him.
Her.
Or whatever.
Hey, I'm not the one trying to date her.
What?
You have to stop and think about that one for a second.
So, what questions are we going to ask him?
Well, for one, what are you doing here? Why are you guarding the hotel instead of killing off the Yoko here? And what are you doing with half your DNA being human?
You just got, well, role playing. We didn't know that the Shannon was here.
So, you are trying to manipulate the Beetles. One of your Beetles starts dating a new woman, and it never occurs to you that she may be a threat to your overall plan. Tell me you're not that stupid.
The doctor says offhandedly, well, Paul, Ringo, and George certainly were.
Yeah, well, I'm not expecting much of a bunch of half-brain dead musicians, so... On the other hand, a professional soldier who's supposed to be the cream of the crop of intergalactic terror...
She seemed harmless.
there's
And
no
Lennon was largely going along to plan. We just don't know why the parts we're programming aren't working correctly. What parts are you programming? He mentions some part, and the doctor goes, oh, I see. I think what happened was these guys... Knock him out real quick for me, please.
Sure.
I think what happened...
Oh, the back of the head.
I think what happened is these guys were working on some kind of capacitor to hold the signal, put it on all the radios and devices at the time.
Oh. Wouldn't
Those same capacitors, would have sat in a warehouse if the device never got used. If we win here and we stop these guys, those capacitors would have sat in some warehouse, along with the records and stuff they were using, along with all the data they've got. And somebody in some warehouse at some point, trying to save money on parts.
What have you used them?
In an Xbox 4. And for
I guarantee if you look up the game, it's probably not in the unit itself. It's probably in the game disc or in the game cartridge. But if you look at the game cartridge, it has some kind of vintage thing to it, and that's what's there.
Well, we've got one we could crack open.
You do so and look it up. You sort of have a little part, looks like a flash drive. On it says vintage vintage radio circuit from the time period. So you have a little bit more feeling of the time period that's being emulated when you're talking about the 60s and 70s music. So yeah.
Okay.
So basically this is all a huge honking accident because these idiots were incompetent.
It means we stop them. Wake them up. We got to find out. We now know we stopped the Satarans because otherwise we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't have the part. Let's find out where this warehouse is.
Okay.
Oh, please make it stop.
Wake up!
Where's the warehouse? I won't tell. You can bring Strax. I don't care. I won't tell.
Oh,
What?
yes, you will. You care a lot because guess what? I'm going to keep you alive for the next few years and let Strax play with you as his own personal tooth toy.
The doctor looks at him and goes, you have a choice. Either you can tell us or we're going to start working over your friend. He probably doesn't have your resolve.
Or like I said, we just leave you as Strax to be a chew toy.
999 such and such Liverpool Lane. Because I don't have a real address from the street address, but you get the idea. So you have the address now.
Yeah. See, I figured for him, death would actually be preferable
Right.
at this point.
So, the doctor looks over the Chinon. What do we do with him? He cannot be allowed to compromise the mission.
It just broke his neck.
Why have a discussion about this? We know we're going to kill him anyway.
Did we?
Yeah.
Asked the doctor.
Because we got another one downstairs waiting.
Hey.
Next time, Mr. Wells, please don't make judgments for me beforehand.
Oh, that's okay. I do it all the time. Anybody got a chainsaw?
You need to roll your observations. So do you. That did not go over well with him. Difficulty 30.
Let's see, 16.
Okay, I have to roll again because this thing does not
26.
have a mark on it to tell me if it's a 6 or a 9.
Let's see.
I mean, there's like a 9 next to it, but...
Yeah, you're right. It does not have a dot. How the hell can you tell?
If there's no dot, then it would be the 6. The other dot, one with the dot.
Actually,
would be the
this
9.
would be your 16. This would be your 19.
Or it was a 6.
The reason why you can tell is because the little curlicue on top is facing away from the one.
It's actually this.
Yeah, see, that's a 6.
Okay.
And that's...
Oh.
See the 1?
Okay.
See the 1? How it's facing. That's how you can tell.
Okay.
Took me a second to look at it too, but yeah, that's how you can tell.
Really weird.
Okay.
It's not convenient when you're doing a quickie though.
Yeah, I'm looking at it going, what the hell was that?
Quickies are all about convenience. Anyway, so
Got a 12.
12. All right. So you miss it. What'd you have?
26.
You miss it too. You didn't even have a partial success. Okay.
I have a 26 and it's not even a partial success?
Not even a partial success. He's at 30. You're 4 away from it. Partial success in the 1 to 3 range. So the camera will linger on the doctor's face after Thomas moves away, so that the viewer sees something that Thomas and Anya don't. He looks over at the Chinon. The Chinon kind of shrugs its shoulders. I will dispose of the body in the bathroom, the Chinon says.
Need a chainsaw?
Do you have a garbage disposal?
I have chemicals.
Oh, okay. Need a hand?
No.
Okay.
Doctor goes, right, the other one.
We go round up the other one. And no, I won't shoot him.
Doctor's like, the other one's had any sense he's actually taken off now that the police are here.
Yeah, we were talking about Sotarans.
Point taken.
Even partial humans, these guys
He looks
are
out,
idiots.
he looks at the window, looks around, and goes, yep, I see the car.
Mm-hmm.
Points the car out to you. Why don't you go do your thing, Mr. Wells?
Don't worry, I'll bring him back alive. I know you're not happy.
Leave him in the car alive.
Ah, transportation.
Signal us when it's safe to come down by flashing the car's headlights.
No problem. All right, stealth. I'm actually pretty good at this, so.
As he walks out, the doctor asks you, Anya, would you have killed that man?
No, not really, because I'm not really, I'm kind of squeamish with that, I suppose.
It's a 19 plus 8.
Good to know.
Plus
I mean,
6.
You know, if he was, like, trying to kill me or something, I might, but I don't know. I've never really killed anybody.
29.
29.
At least no sort of thing.
You sneak up. Santarin's there still watching. He's so dedicated looking that he's not looking at anywhere around him. He's so dedicated looking at the flat and the police. You sneak right up on him and he's out. There's a signal. Let's go. I assume I can leave you here to guard Mr. Lennon.
Ah.
Of course, says the Chinon. Excellent. As he leaves, make
Pop the
another
trunk.
observation.
I pop the trunk, look inside, because I always know what soldiers have. Duct tape.
Even worse than
Duct tape.
You
The
missed
light
it.
side of the dark side, and it holds and it binds the universe together.
So you get into the car. He says, Thomas, you need to drive.
Yep. You know what I love about these old cars?
Plenty
Trunks.
of trunk space.
Oh yeah.
It worries me that was the first thing the doctor said. You expect a line like that out of Thomas's mouth. Thomas, you need to drive, please.
Sure. Where are we going?
That way.
Alrighty.
The doctor's looking out the window, not doing anything.
Doctor, just speak your frickin' mind. I do not like quiet.
Takes out a sonic screwdriver, does something to the radio, turns it on. Good. Not anyone spying on us will think that we're listening to the radio and discussing something that we're not discussing. Well, before we left, I took a quick reading of her equipment.
Mm-hmm.
It's a quantum manipulator,
Alright.
Alright, for
which
those
means,
of us who...
yes, it can affect brains. It can also affect anything that vibrates, like molecules, atoms, quarks, waves, particles, energy.
Okay, I get that. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, nor a good thing, depending on how it's used.
No, it's an engine like any other. But if she were truly interested in just deprogramming him,
That's a little overkill.
she has that quantum manipulator for some other purpose, and it has to do with the Beatles and their music. Sound is vibration.
Mm-hmm.
Sound has rhythm. That rhythm by itself affects the brain,
Yes, and it can also affect solid.
making people incredibly suggestible.
And it can affect matter as well.
Do you think that's maybe why...
I think that Chinon's goals are not as benign as she would have us believe.
Or at the very least, it's not necessarily as... It may not necessarily be hostile, but it sure isn't exactly friendly. Just don't automatically assume she's here for bad.
I'm not. Much as myself, I assume that other species may have multiple reasons for taking their actions. But she is self-interested now, not altruistic, which brings me to the question of, why does she present herself as being altruistic?
Because maybe what she wants to do may be altruistic from our perspective, but also be self-interested from her perspective. Sometimes you can do good for purely selfish reasons.
Anya, that quantum manipulator uses a kind of computer.
Oh, you want me to hack it?
That'd be good.
I want you to be able to hack it if we need to.
Okay.
You'll need to familiarize yourself with its systems. It's a much higher level technology than you're normally used to dealing with.
Do I
And
have
if
the
she's
information
not-
list?
You do.
Okay, I'll just do it
And
then.
if she's self-interested, we need to be able to either appeal to her self-interest to make her behave herself, or remove her from the scene.
Now, telepathy, mind-to-mind transmission, is done by something that's neither particle nor wave. It's a different kind of energy form.
Yeah?
That quantum manipulator can't affect it and can't detect it.
Yeah, but what kind of forms of energy is there besides a wave and particle?
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, spacey wacy, inverted, sideways pretzel stuff.
Right. He would have to go there. I hate that tiny wimey thing.
You'd rather go with the green energy of the Green Lantern universe.
It actually makes more sense.
Fine, then it's the green power of will. Are we happy now?
Are you boys finished?
Yes, we're done measuring dicks now.
Thanatos' glove is cooler.
Good point.
Okay, what was this about telepathy then?
You'll need to send me the information telepathically.
Can she do that?
I'm not telepathic.
Yes, you are.
What?
Stay out of my head.
I'm
The
not.
pendant you wear is a psychic
It's a scary
amplifier.
place. You don't want to go in there.
Someone spotted that you were telepathic and put a cyclic amplifier on you. Normally, humans don't have the ability to generate that kind of energy. They're right when they say that Harrison's empathy rating of 87 is an extremely rare rating. Normally, humans don't get out of like the 15 to 20s.
Yeah, in my case, I'm on 2 or 3.
Okay, this thing's just sort of showed
Empathy-wise.
up. And I
You have a
just
53.
can't- I what?
Uh-huh. What?
You have a rating of 53 telepathy.
I've never read anybody's mind though.
You definitely better stay out of my head.
You don't think so?
Well, no.
How'd you know to leave the Frenchman?
Which one was that? 10 or
He
12?
wanted to do a lot of menage a trois and I wasn't comfortable with it.
How did you know he was cheating on you?
He's French?
Well, I suppose I walked into that one.
Yeah, smack right face first. I almost go off the road with that one.
How did you know that your brother wasn't acting correctly the first time we met at the soccer game?
Because it's her brother?
Yeah, he was getting really aggressive and like I saw the camera, you know, everybody else was getting aggressive with it and I know he didn't duck.
And how did you make that correlation to the camera? Nobody else would have. Even I didn't.
It was like a wave. I mean, if you just watched it, you could see people getting all feisty.
You
and
made the
stuff.
deduction because the person manipulating the camera had to think about where he was going to point the camera. You felt the wave of his thought before you saw the camera pointed your way.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like being a baby. When a baby is born, it's developing. Your telepathy is very late and blooming, but it's there. You are going to be one of the most powerful telepaths in your family's history. You're right up there with what most telepaths experience on a common basis around the stars.
My family's history. You're saying there's like telepaths in my family's history.
Your uncle,
He's crazy.
he's
He's a
precognitive and telepathic.
Like
Since he has two talents rather than one, it's
Oh, I
kind of
can-
hardwired his brain.
Oh, I could tell that right off the bat. Like I said earlier, he's crazy, but he's always right.
Well, yeah, but he's.
No crazy man is always right. Insanity is random. He's not random. He's crazy because whatever he's seeing scrambles him quite a bit, but he's not insane in the medical sense.
The
I can
point
tell
being,
that.
when the time comes and you have the information, you need to think of sending it to me as hard as you can.
Okay.
And I wish there was some way I could restart that in you, but there really isn't. Not without leaving your brain intact.
I'd like to keep my brain intact.
Yeah, let's
So
not.
would I.
don't want her ending up like her uncle. She's no fun that way.
Oh, I don't know. I might be a completely different sort of fun.
Yeah, but I'm not taking advantage of you that way.
Take right here, Thomas.
Sure.
And a left.
Yep.
And we have a tail from Torchwood.
Yep.
Want to go say hello?
Mm-hmm.
Give me the wheel.
How do you want to do it?
Oh, I'm thinking you should...
Sharp and violent or sneaking?
I think you should haul him out of the car.
Okay.
I could
See
stop
who
it.
Torchwood
Again.
sent after
You know one
us.
thing I love about this car? About this time period? Big cars. I slow down, let them speed up, let them speed up, let them speed up, and hit the brakes.
Screech! He stops me and just not to hit the trunk.
And I hop out. Bam, 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 bam.
You go shooting?
No, I'm not killing them. I'm shooting out the front tires.
Okay. So
Okay.
you come out of the car shooting.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let's hit the tires is going to be a 20.
Mhm.
I will go ahead and let you have a surprise round because the torture agent isn't expecting that.
Exactly. It's called shock and awe. It's a typically American tactic in this situation. And 1 is no good, so that's going to hit the road.
I'll concur.
And that one's going to hit nicely.
I'm going to say that second one not only perforates the tire, it gets through part of the engine block too.
Oh, it's going to bounce up into the engine block? Oh, nice.
So the car is dead. You don't have to roll anymore.
And that one hits perfectly on the other tire.
The agent has enough time with the gunfire. Oh my god! To like get out his weapon.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, it's whack!
You have to roll initiative for that.
Yeah.
Anya, lock his weapon for me, please.
Not necessary. That was a 6 plus 4.
And
That's
you
a
make
10.
an observation because you notice the doctor is doing something else. But his body's the one you can't quite see.
All right.
No. She is completely unobservant tonight.
The camera will notice the doctor reaches underneath the car and puts a small
Here.
device underneath the steering wheel.
So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here. I can't fucking think.
So you're pulling him out and slugging him?
Well, that's what I wanted to do initially, but if he's already got his gun out, I don't necessarily know what she's doing. So I'm trying to figure out how vicious I want to be with this. I don't want to kill him because I know the doctor's not happy about that already. I don't want to piss him off any further. I'll butt stroke him.
Put your own pistol?
Yeah.
Take a...
And 13.
You got a hit?
Because the problem is almost anything I do is
Pistol
going
butt
to be
will
lethal.
do a d6 plus your strength bonus.
Because almost anything I do is liable to be lethal at this point. I don't want to do that. I'm not sure how you pull punches in this game.
2 and 2, 4 points. Whack! Ugh! You see him kind of go, yeah.
And then I grab him
I'll make a
and
body
yank him.
check for him.
And then I'll grab him and yank him slam him into the road. Shit, he'd actually make that.
The body check does not knock him out.
That's okay.
So he tries to resist.
Stop rolling good.
As you try to pull him out,
Mhm.
he has this weird karate move to your arm to try to like flare the points of your arm to get you to let go.
Okay.
I need you to roll a body check, difficulty 20.
Body check. It's a 16.
You let go.
That's okay. I'll let go.
So now you're both in a neutral position, but he's still sitting in the car and he doesn't have the gun. Because when you hit him, you have to drop the gun to make this thing happen.
Okay.
The gun is sitting on the dashboard. Your sonic screwdriver roll?
Oh, I had to roll that.
Yeah. Difficulty will be 10 because it's not like the gun can resist.
Really? You sure?
How many moves do I have in a
Some
round?
people think guns have mind of their own.
I thought you had 3 actions around, if I remember correctly. Let's
Okay.
check your action score.
11.
Ooh, you just
Yeah. I
lock
just
that
knew it.
gun. Action. It's action. It's willpower action. Oh, you have 4 actions around. My mistake.
All right.
All right, so shooting the gun, 1, 2, 3, cross the ground, up in the round. Then the surprise round kicks in. You try to grab him out of the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So grab 1, butt stroke, that's 2. He hits. You have 2 actions left.
Okay. So I don't have any hands on him at this point, right?
No,
But
he has hands on.
We are face to face.
Right, he's still sitting down, so he's in the inferior position.
Oh, really?
Yep. Headbutt.
Yeah.
You see his eyes get big because he's just like a punch or another grab at him. He sees forehead coming out. He's
Exactly.
like, "What the boom?"
That was my point of trying that. Complete surprise. And a 19.
Boom. Roll another d6.
Oh, there
Add
you
2 for your strength. Make sure that one's rolled as a d3.
And 5. 5 plus 2.
You hear teeth and nose and upper mandible break, and he slumps in the car.
Okay, he's out cold now, right?
There's blood all over your face.
Duct tape. And prop him up. Anybody got trunk? Knock out. Boom. Stay cold. All right.
You see the doctor get out of the car. He walks to the trunk. He opens the trunk of the car. He has one of those Hindu necklaces things. It looks like the one that John was wearing. He takes a centaur and he puts it around the would-be centauran's head. Where do you... Oh. Good spud.
All right. One thing you always have on a stakeout.
That's what he did when you weren't looking. He lifted part of the...
One thing you always have when you do a stakeout, you have some kind of liquid. Since it's England, I'm assuming hot tea. That'll wake him up. Splash!
Hi. Who are you? You were tailing us. Who is this guy? You know?
I have no clue.
And so you realize, this guy's realized that this is the doctor.
Yeah. I have no clue. Who are
Yeah,
you?
mate, do you have any idea what you just walked into? No, what? He holds up his psychic paper. Oh, crap, man. Someone's got to get better organization. Look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get into your operation. We're hunting a bunch of IRA terrorists. You just walked in the middle of an MI5 op. And you want to apologize to me? It's a good thing I don't have my man here throw you into the Thames. We're not in London.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wherever we are. Not that familiar with Liverpool. More familiar with London and Cardiff.
Yeah, well, you know, nobody's really familiar with Cardiff.
So, you're going to leave us alone.
Or I throw you in
And
the
get
Irish
out
Sea.
of our case.
Or I throw you into the Irish Sea.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Did you have to headbutt him?
he already broke my lock.
Really?
Yeah.
They're training them better. That worries me.
Yeah, well, everybody, either that or just had an off day. It happens to everybody. Nobody expects
Alright.
a headbutt in real
So,
life.
he gets the spud out. So, how are you? I am fine, says the guy wearing the
I
mind
take
control
the
device.
Torchwood guy and throw him in the trunk of his car.
Right.
Poking the spud.
He doesn't seem to feel it. Good. Drive. Yes. He gets into the car. Doctor's like, right.
What did you do to him?
Mind
See the
control
beads?
them.
Oh,
The beads that Janan was using to influence the...
oh shit. That's right. And considering that Spuds don't have a whole lot to work with to begin with.
Right. So, into the car, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
In the car, he sets up something else, puts it on the
Yeah.
side. You hear a hum inside the car.
Boy, that guy gushed.
Hands you a handkerchief.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
What's the hum?
Holographic projector.
And oh, by the way, I know the headbutt was a bit excessive, but I couldn't think of anything he didn't expect. A punch he would have expected, a grab he would have expected. Nobody expects a headbutt
I just
in real
don't
life.
like pissing Torchwood off. They already don't like me.
I love pissing Torchwood off.
This is not the Captain Jack Torchwood, which is kind of comical and endearing. These are the ones I really worry about.
Now, you do realize when we get back, we have to let him do some more masochistic tango before we actually clear him out. We have to get good footage of that. It's blackmail material for the next 6 months.
Dear.
The doctor looks and mutters something under his breath. Roll your listening skills, see if you hear what he said.
Listening. Is there
You understand, my character likes Captain Jack. He's just like having
Awareness.
fun with him.
I'm sorry, the observations go.
Good grief!
Jesus,
I
I'm not
have
rolling
no luck with
observation with crap
tonight.
tonight.
None at all.
I'm like barely making anything.
What'd you get?
I only got a 14, so I only got a 29.
You hear him say, I was thinking, I'm super, thanks for asking, actually. I'm super. Thanks for asking. I'm super.
Oh, good God. Oh, man.
Oh, Lord.
I like Captain Jack. I just want to keep him away from my girl.
Alright.
You know, we should have had the Guardian for this one.
Boy, so you could just sit in the back and snog.
No! Though that's actually a plus. No, because nobody likes kicking Sataran ass more than she does.
Oh,
All right,
take your
here
word
we
for
are.
it.
Oh, it's a nice little warehouse.
So what do we do? Burn it down, or just sack it, or screw with somebody's bank records? No, we can't do that. It's before computers.
Well, we have a problem. Keep in mind, we can't actually destroy this warehouse with things in it because we've already encountered them. Personal time string problems.
oh, so that kind of causes a backlash.
What
So
we
how
have
do
to
we do
be
this?
sure of, though, is that it all stays there.
Can we just like neutralize it, maybe, so it's harmless?
Still change the time stream.
No,
Shit,
my
so what's the
brother
point?
doesn't like it.
The point is making sure it doesn't actually get used here
Oh,
when it's originally intended.
I see. So how do we do that? I mean, we can destroy the records, but that doesn't really do anything.
Working on a plan. First thing you need is a reconnoiter, though. Can you get through that warehouse and find out what's there?
Oh, sure, no problem.
Anya? What look with
Can
the
we use the
hacking
Sunshine
design?
as a polished bomb detector?
Well, it's got some information on it, but not sure.
Do me a favor, Doctor.
Looks at it. Okay, keep familiarizing yourself with the records in the operating system.
We need to make sure the doors and nothing else are booby trapped. Even if I'm not really all that good at disarming that sort of thing. We don't actually train to do that anymore. We usually just basically trip the stuff and make it go off.
Really?
Yeah. You understand? And even in my
Yes,
time,
yes, I
even in
understand,
my
I
time, they were
understand.
casualty conscious.
I understand that militarily wise it makes more sense, just not thief wise.
No, I never said I was a thief. I'm a pirate, maybe, but not a thief.
All right, I'll go with you. Anya, stay here and watch Mr. Potato Head.
Or we can use Potato Head as a freaking Polish mine detector.
No. They see him, they'll want to know what he's doing here.
Okay, good point. I don't think there's anybody here, actually. I don't see any
So
cars
the two
in the
of
parking lot.
you scout the warehouse. There is indeed one Sotar in here,
There's no cars in the lot, though?
but he's inside. I'm going to go ahead and speed up time because actually we're running late.
Yeah.
You guys disarm the traps, send the Sotaran in, not kill the Sotaran, but, you know,
You
can pass them, and pass them, do whatever.
I don't know they're half human. They're actually easier to take down without killing them.
And you manage to, you know, move the records so that nobody remembers where house is and these guys can't find these parts again.
Yeah, because that was the part that's confusing. Because the one thing that's hard about going into these pastimes like this, no computers. It
Then
really
the doctor
makes
goes
shit
into a
difficult.
solicitor's office and has it written into the company that owns the warehouse and the materials files where to move it and give it to someone, like, you know, an estate kind of thing. Legally
Okay.
speaking, so it's locked until it gets let loose to a company that will develop those Xboxes.
Or a fun way you can do that in this time period, you know, pre-records, is simply shuffle the paperwork around so the crap gets stuck in a third or fourth place and then gets literally forgotten. It happens in real life quite often in these old warehouses. You go into an old warehouse, let's say in New York City, and find shit that's been sitting there for 50 years and nobody knew about.
All right, so now we have that done. We have to go undo the damage to the band.
Oh, fuck.
And we have to figure out what the hell Yoko's doing. Do we have to
Agreed.
kill her now?
Fake one.
No.
No.
I'm just
no.
kidding. Just kidding.
How many times do I have to say
Just kidding.
Well,
Actually, I don't want to kill her. This robot's very much an improvement.
if it's a fake one, exactly, and they put the real one on her ship.
Yeah,
then
but she's
how
a
do you
living
get the
being,
real
too.
one down?
She's a living being. We don't want to fuck with that.
I know, but the real Yoko is up there on the ship.
They'll
I
download-
And
they'll probably download what memories they need to the human and let her resume her normal life as soon as their intervention is done.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I know she's up in a spaceship. So
Now, let us continue to fix the band. Let's get some sleep. To the TARDIS.
to ours.
So you go to the TARDIS, you walk inside, the doctor goes, I'm going to retire to my chamber now, I'll see you all later. You walk in his chamber, inside. The TARDIS right now looks like a steampunk guy's dream. Everything's like dark mahoganies and brass plates and everything. He walks into his room. As he walks into his room, you see like bookshelves everywhere, a little smoking jacket.
Oh, there
pipe.
it is.
And he's
It was
busy.
shown up before.
Yeah, he was busy reading Dickens.
And instead of like photographs, they're like paintings and statues and busts of past companions and stuff. You see that he does have a bust of Rose.
Of course he would.
Fucker.
We bust.
All right. What does Anya do that night?
Well, she's gonna try to read up as much as possible on the,
You
whatever.
read as much as you can the OS. Takes about an hour to familiarize yourself with it and how it works. You think you can make it happen.
It's poking.
You go to bed.
What the hell is this?
It would be from outside.
Yeah, to be a power cord. All right, so
Something was definitely digging at me.
do we still have zip power?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
good. So the next morning, you all awaken bright and early. You walk into the Beatles studio,
Bright and early. There. That should help.
and they're like,
Damn thing.
"Hey,
kept
how you
poking
doing,
me.
Anya?
Couldn't figure out what
It's
it was.
really good to be working with you today," says Lennon.
Oh, great to be working with you too.
You know, how do we miss getting you guys recorded on the last album? There's tracks that are missing. We have these song ideas. We want you guys to sit in and record the stuff with us today, and let us finish off the album on a good note.
Oh, okay, that works for me.
All right, so there's 3 tracks they were debating whether or not to put on or off on the album. One is called Shooting Star. Another one is called Liverpool Lament. And the last one is called Last Train Out of London. And Last Train Out of London is like kind of a callback to like the working class music they started with. It's like, you know, a guy living in London, going back home. Liverpool Lament is just a song about something bad happened in Liverpool. They're angry about something that happened, and they made a song out of it. And the other one, Shooting Star, is actually kind of a weird, kind of like almost fantasy piece. All right, so you guys record the tracks, everything's good, and then John goes, "You know, guys, this is so well. Paul, let's go and give him the Nervous Prize. Yeah, we're playing tonight live. We're gonna debut the album tonight live.
What?
Yeah, we're sending the cut. We're going to go ahead, and he mentions the stadium and all that. We're moving all of our amps and everything there, and we're going to be ready to go. And record music will be there. It'll be televised, radio, the whole bit. Televised and radio. The doctor says, that's a good thing. That's big.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Except the fact that our faces will be plastered up for history.
Holographic projectors. Don't know why I never thought to use them before.
Apparently you were a bit tense before.
Yeah, well, I was occupied.
Yeah, with Rose.
What?
Yes, let's do that. Okay. So that day goes pretty uneventfully. The concert comes around, and I meant to make this morning, but we're actually now pushing 10 o'clock, and know you got to go to bed soon, so I'm going to sum a bunch of stuff up. You guys are starting the concert, you're playing with the band, you go through the whole set. You all know all the songs because the doctor knows all the songs, so you all can play them because he transfers them to your memory for the day. And so the song's going great, and then about 2/3 of the way into the set, your sonic screwdriver starts acting weird. So does his. You notice that the Chanan are actually carrying a signal through the performance. They're trying to make humanity better.
In what way?
And the way they feel humanity be better.
Oh,
Yeah.
dearie.
Like-
So that the humanity will always trust them and be nice to one another and listen to the Chanan in all things.
Yeah.
Hacking time?
Hacking time.
She's gonna hack away.
Okay? The doctor looks at you and goes, you know what? Time to take over the show.
You might need to give me a new D20, honey.
Didn't get it?
I got like a 15.
He walks up, he whispers something to Lennon and McCartney. They all go to the side. And keep in mind, there's all these people out there who do not know who the three of us are.
Okay.
Doctor walks up to the center, goes up to the piano where McCartney is, signals you to get on main guitar, signals you to get ready to sing.
Oh, of course.
Cracks.
Great.
You hear. And it's like this is the last song of the night. Dun 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 dun. Just take them old records off the shelf. And the whole crowd goes haywire and starts singing.
Wonderful. We just ruined Bob Seger's career.
Actually, I think the song was already in existence by then.
No, it was not.
Was not?
Nope.
Okay, no.
Oh well.
He goes on. He goes through the old-time rock and roll song. The Chanan's like, why aren't my instruments working? Why aren't my instruments working? Because as you guys are singing and performing, it's cutting out the signal. Go ahead and give me a roll to perform. It's a charisma-based roll.
Oh, now I get a better roll. Jesus.
What's expert again?
2.
Expert's a +8 bonus.
Well, 30, actually, then.
30? Okay. You're a good puppy
That's
dog.
+6 actually.
You guys notice that part of what the shaman was doing is, in addition to programming humanity, they were trying to make a certain sound vibration they could step through freely. They're trying to turn Liverpool into like a small TARDIS. Well,
30,
larger TARDIS.
no.
And so the doctor has just killed that
29.
signal.
29.
Okay. Wow! And we end it, and everyone's like, oh, the John's like all kind of angry, but you can't do anything because you're in public.
Nice.
And right as it ends and the curtain falls, he looks over at Thomas and goes, Thomas, now.
I get to kill Yoko.
Dan's like, what? You didn't have the gun on you?
It's a performance.
Okay. So the doctor looks at you and goes, Thomas, now. Right. And you throw what at her?
Like the electric guitar.
Okay.
The damn thing weighs 20 pounds.
Roll your throw.
Oh my god.
The robotic life form catches it and crushes it in the air. And the doctor looks at you and goes, where's your gun?
I'm wearing a t-shirt and jeans on stage.
You don't have your gun. 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 Now you don't have your gun.
Nope.
Even
You don't have your gun.
Screwdriver?
All right, so you try a screwdriver. Give me a screwdriver roll.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Actually,
And another one.
I would have had a 20. I would have had a 29 on that one to hit her.
Okay.
I have 2 actions though.
She stalks forward, and her punch is about ready to go. She's actually about to hit Harrison
Oh, really?
Wow.
because he's like getting in the way. And right as she's about to hit Harrison, of all people, Lennon tackles her. And she's still walking with him attached. That's when John lets go. He's like, what the hell? Because he should be able to put that little 90-pound woman on the ground.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting my gun.
And in your second act, you try to lock her up again.
Yeah.
I'm walking off to the side stage. Walk back over,
Of course.
put it up to her mouth, and blow her brains out.
24.
24. This time you lock the whole system out. And it takes its normal robotic thing. And Linda's just like, oh my god.
Yeah, you've been banging
Oh
that.
my god.
Yeah,
You've
you've
been banging a
that
robot.
stuff.
Okay.
Oh my god.
24. To shoot her.
It's destroyed.
Yeah.
The doctor goes, right, well, now we have to find the mothership and bring back the real Yoko Ono. He stops as he realizes he just said that out loud. And you see him hesitate as he looks at you.
Oh, come on. She doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, alright.
I would debate that at this point, but I've been debating this whole last few days, and nobody's listening to me.
You save her, bring her back. And the Beatles sit down like, dude, what do we do? The doctor's like, well, in order to make sure that all the damage to the timeline is contained, we are going to have to go on tour with you, at least for this tour.
Great.
What?
I'm already stuck a half a century before my time.
We have a time machine. We can go back
Now
when
I'm
we left.
stuck a century before my time. At least it's not the Cretaceous.
And so the characters tour with the Beatles for a year, having all kinds of adventures and fun, and having typical rock star stories of the Beatles.
Oh, boy.
And you come back like 2 seconds after you left. When you come back, the timeline's still like debating who was the triangle, the missing 3 Beatles. Who were they? Who were they really? And you look, and the images are always like slightly different. And there's debate about actually it was like, different actors they hired or different band members they just all gave the same name to, so some kind of publicity stunt.
Fantastic.
Oh, boy.
And Yoko's still alive.
You end up with a book signed by John. Okay? And the book is something like it would be something very anarchist. Something like the essays of Emma Goodman. Alright? Signed by him. You end up with the sitar from Harrison. The doctor ends up with a signed album with the 3 of us on it, looking like actually us and everybody's signatures. And one of the things that we did while we were on is they cut a new album after we go called like Adventures Through Time and Space, and it's the blue album. It looks like the TARDIS doors.
Oh, God.
No, we don't fuck with the timeline at all.
With a song, with a song that's something like Yellow Submarine, but a blue box. Something like that. There's some effect on the timeline like that.
Yeah, we don't screw with the timeline at all. No.
And when you guys come back, and if you're up at the parking lot of Ani's apartment, Unit is there, waiting for you to appear. And the first one looks at the doctor, gets off, and goes, I should be really mad at you. What? You almost wrecked musical history. Hey, they cut 4 more albums. They all had successful individual careers. And most importantly, John Lennon did not turn into a douche.
He has a point. And we didn't kill Yoko Ono. We were tempted. Badly. But we didn't kill Yoko Ono. No, she was a saint.
And then all these,
and didn't even contemplate.
And then all the unit members are like, right. And they all take off because they thought we were going to get the right act. And then the unit general who's there is like, so, did you bring me anything? The doctor like palms like a cigarette lighter or something signed by the band or one of the band their initials. Yeah, me. I'll take care of you. Thank you. And he goes off.
Oh,
They're into the adventure. Everybody gets 800 more XP, and you need to invest some development points into the telepathy ability to represent that it is happening. 3DP would let you gain the telepathy skill.
Okay.
Because the way I'm working it like they did in certain other games where all the psychic abilities are skills as well as advantages. You have to buy them both. And we will leave it there. I'm sorry it was a little ad hoc, but
No, that's okay. Considering I missed her.
we did everything on a tight string.